How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, beautiful day. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, boys. It is time for some 5v5 1v1 duels over on the EU, boys. Over on the EU. How you all doing? Welcome back to another stream. Hope all of you are having a wonderful, beautiful day. Last chance to buy Severe 3 corruptions, as well as some of the other corruptions you guys might be aiming for. Right now is the perfect time to do it. Let me get the music back up and running. How you boys all doing? Hope all of you are having a good one. The next song is a really chill one. I think I like this one a lot. Might even add it to the mix. How you boys all doing? What do we got in chat? We got ourselves Tompa, my man. Haven't seen you in a while. We got Kevin, Stormer, Mark. How you doing, Mark and Mark? Sam. How you doing, my man? Amir. We got Callaghan. Yo, Faith. How you doing, fam? Oleg. We got ourselves Cooper Bolske, my man. How you doing, boys? Welcome back, welcome back. Let me just make a quick post, man. Let me make a quick post. Corruptions cost way too much. Really? I mean, I'm trying to play as much of the alpha as I can, but I'm also playing my alts whenever possible too. And I find that, are you doing your dailies, like assaults and stuff like that? Because I do some of my alt stuff, and my alts have corruptions. Like, my warrior finally got enough haste to just be like a god, dude. Just a straight up god, dude. Honestly, dude. Honestly. 15,000 cost stars. Yeah, you don't want stars. You don't want stars. Stars is, depends on the class, right? You don't want stars, though. I think it's best, unless you're like a demon hunter or a shadow priest that wants to go full single target. Stars is kind of in the rogue community they say it's a trap, because stars, it can work, but only if you have a high haze build for depending on your class. There are other alternatives that are more consistent. Stars is good for long-term fights unless you can get it stacked up really quickly. Demon hunters have a natural haze because of the ivy, and they get it often. Shadow priests want to stack as much haste as possible. Survival hunters want to stack as much haste as possible. Arms warriors want to stack as much haste as possible, but they stack expedience. Well, not demon hunters, but the other guys can stack expedience to give them more natural flow. But because they stack so much haste, they can't go stars because it'll just play off of haste super easily. If you're a class that isn't heavy on haste, actually, there are a couple of videos. Actually, I should just get the so hold on. Duels. Sorry, boys. I'm making a post about the 5v5 1v1 duels going up. I always do that, dude, but I was a little bit late. I want to make sure I'm in here on time. But, so, man, I need to... Dratnos is... You might have seen, heard the name Dratnos before. Dratnos is a YouTube video with all the different... if I can find it. Dratnos. Different... what is the word? Different... corruptions you could buy depending if you're a ranged or a melee or a tank or whatever. And he has a list Excel spreadsheet. Here we go. There's a spreadsheet. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. I can link to you guys here, right? Google Doc? Let me show you. Let me show you this Google Doc, because he has a good Google Doc that shows some of the classes. So this is a Google Doc of all the corruptions that he recommends. He does a lot of Mythic Pluses and does a lot of work. Plus, he's also, you know, method. There's a lot of dudes that play classes there. Plus, he utilizes all the other guides and all the other information from other rogues, other people that play these certain classes to give a full list. So, like, there's one on every single spec, even specs that no one plays, dude. There's a melee DPS, range DPS, healers, as well as tanks, some ideas of what you guys should get. And I looked at this stuff and I agree with it. I approve it, right? As a rogue main, I approve of what he says, right? So, we have a couple different options here, right? So with the melee, right? I'll just show you the melee. I gave you guys a link. You should check it out. But before we get into the duels, like if you're a melee and you're looking melee DPS, I'm an Outlaw Rogue. So let's find melee DPS right here. Let's go down, Outlaw Rogue down here. So general use corruptions, what's good for the spec itself? Lasso of the Void Rod Down weapon, Strike Through, Severe. Now, Severe and Strike Through I think are not as heavy as the Rod Down weapon. Rod Down is definitely like a good one, but what do you look for? Crit increases? Yes, because you play Blood of the Enemy usually, or even if you don't play Blood of the Enemy, Outlaw has a very high playstyle with crit because of ace up your sleeve, or between the eyes, and cool crit buff that you have also, like whenever you roll crit buff. Strike Through, since you crit a lot, you might as well get a little bit extra damage. If you want something just general use for everything, Rod Down Slappers are good for single target and cleave AoE and pure AoE. And Strike Through. Is Infinite Stars worth? That's another question he asked for every single one of the specs. Depending on the class. Depending on the class. On all DK, pets proc it quite often. Yes. Demon Hunter, you play with a lot of haste. Yes. Feral Druid, don't play as much haste. Red Paladin, you actually play with quite a bit of haste for your specific playstyle. Yes. Fury Warrior, yes, you could use it. Survival, this is only for a single target, right? For Outlaw, it's actually recommended to use Gushing Wounds, which has got nerfed, but still is decent. But Appendage is a better choice, especially if it's not like a 5-minute fight. Technically, you can use Stars with Outlaw, but I've also seen other Outlaw running Stars versus Appendage on like logs and such. Stars is good when it's super RNG, and I've used it before. It's really nice when it lines up, but Appendage or Gushing, I would even recommend Appendage would be a little bit better. Is SWAT Devastation good for Mythic Plus? For Outlaw, yes it is. For Outlaw, you should definitely be using it. Because Mythic Plus is like, we don't have any specific stats that help us in Mythic Plus. I mean, I guess crit could be nice, but you just want damage. You just want raw numbers. You just want something that pumps. So TDs end up playing out real well into the playstyle. We don't have any specific stats that make us do more AoE. I mean, you can go more crit, more versatility, but it's not quite as a massive jump as TD. And TD proc and during the Blood of the Enemy, you're blasting. You're blasting. And you can do this for any other class. Let's say you're Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage, you want Severe and Strike Through. So crits and crit damage, because you want your Arcane Blast to crit. Is Stars worth? Yes, Bludgeon and Wound and Appendages too, because you have a little bit of this not high haste playstyle, but you just do so many abilities between your Arcane Blast and between your missiles. It's a lot of procs of abilities onto a singular enemy. But most of your damage is going to come from your Arcane Blast, which you use quite a bit of. And the other stats, you don't really have Severe and Strike nearly quite as like a massive like mastery for fire mages. It's not quite a massive overwhelming stat. It's just like you want more damage out of things, and you would rather let things crit. Not high enough to a point where it's like versatility would just be better. TD, he says maybe yeah, but I actually would say TD is really good for Arcane since you're in melee all the time. So you can use this kind of things as a little bit of like an idea of what's good for you, what isn't. Of course, you could sim yourself, make your own decisions, do whatever. As for Arena versatility. Everybody should be playing versatility in Arena. Versus kind of taking over Arena. If you have versatility, save it for Arenas. But yeah, let's go to actual duels, boys. Let's go to actual duels. Yeah, if you're asking for Arena and Stars, probably not. Versatility is the best one. Gushing can be okay. Appendage is easily killable, but can be useful in some situations. I'd say versatility is what everybody stacks right now. Talk stream, no 5V5 1v1s. Yo, they got a good duels going. Yeah, always we got a good duels going. I just wanted to hit up on the point of corruptions, man. Someone asked, and in this I'm logging onto wrong WoW every single fucking time. Can I please just stop doing that? I swear. Logging into Shadowlands, boys. What am I doing with my life? Oh, you hit play. I gotta wait for it to load, and then I gotta exit. Then I gotta swap it to EU, and then I'm good to go. Here we go. And then I'm gonna okay, now we're set. Now we're set. Sorry, boys. It took me a second. Dude, I get so excited and animated when talking about shit I'm kind of interested in. And I love explaining shit to people, dude. I think YouTube fits me, man. I like this shit. I like it. I just like it so much. I can go on tangents. I can talk about shit forever. I'm sorry. I like what I do, okay? What's up, boys? What's up? Just get it, my man. You're gonna group up and running. All right. Actual duels now, boys. We talked about corruptions. That's been over. Whole 10 minutes wasted. Now, let's go to actual duels. Let's finally do some duels, boys. Let's finally do some duels. If you guys have a group, let me know in PMs. We got us as Krager. Oh, narrowly ahead of Pelor. So we got to get Alex here and Krager back in here too. Pick a Tampa. Oh shit, Tampa, we gotta get you in here, dude. Hey, trying to get fucked up by Russians? Yeah, you think so? Yeah, alright, dude, alright. Alright. Hold on. Alex and Kragar. Bye. What the fuck? Ha! Kragar, Alex. Nice, there we good. Or not sure too. Ready? Let's go, boys. We gotta go by first come, first serve, though. As I got the real ID messages. Or I might try to get Trump in because we haven't seen him in a while. Let's do that. I think it would be fair. Well, I don't know if it'll be fair for some of you. But it's my show, boys. I run this fucking house at this point, man. You give up all control and it's not mine. Yo, is this a power grab or what, dude? Boys, I was born in fucking communism, man. You would think you would expect for me to be used to some power grabs here, dude. That's all I do. Switch. What do we got today? We got ourselves. Oh my goodness, full team rush. We got ourselves Dark. We got ourselves Krager. We got ourselves Kram. No Mova. This one is a hard one to say because I don't even know how you say it in English. Now. Mova? Should we call him Mova? We got ourselves Tulan as well on Team Blue. Full team of Russians versus Christina on Team Red. Lancelot as a big old furious Death Knight. We got ourselves my other shot of praise. We got ourselves Daenerys going to be going up first. The Targaryens are back with Devil hanging around the back. Daenerys going up versus Dark is going to get hit with an incap as Dark just goes in for a bit of a slow play, catching up on a few heals. That's going to be just eliminated immediately. It's going to get an interrupt on Daenerys. Fist of Fury attacking him while Blur is off, and Daenerys took a little bit of damage there. It looks like it's going to be Echo and Void for Daenerys just to get next to Dark and stay on top of him as much as possible. You get the most value from the Echoing Void. That's going to be Dark trying to zone out the Demon Hunter. Is going to rush around the other side. Trinket for Trinket getting traded right now by both the Monk and the Demon Hunter. The DH feels like he needs to pop down meta. Darkness comes down too. It looks like a moment of desperation coming out of Demon Hunter. Is going to pop I-Beam to extend that Metamorphosis just a little longer and finally start to do some slashing damage to Dark. Is going to hit him with a stun a little bit early. Daenerys not really looking all that healthy. Dark isn't really trying to go offensive here. It's actually just trying to go for an incap and catch a few heals prior. It's going to hit Daenerys with quite a bit of damage flying up in the air. Dark doesn't have any range damage right now. Actually going to play it super safe as Daenerys is catching up on health little by little. Darkness is going to catch up on Vivifies. Waiting for Daenerys approaching. Daenerys needs a little bit of time before a blur is available. Try to play very defensive here. Has Metamorphosis. Should try to engage with his full... Oh, wow. I guess his meta is gone. Should try to get him back into meta and try to do as much damage as they can. Is going to get a Blade Dance on top of Dark. That's going to be Fist of Fury. Stunning the Fist of Fury. Preventing the parry damage. Dark still could finish this off as Blur is up on Daenerys. Might have enough damage here. Daenerys is going to back up for a second. Charge right in. Super low in health, but it's going to be a big old kick at the end by Dark to take him out. And Dark taken out Daenerys the Demon Hunter in only a minute 40 seconds. With Devil going up, actually DR's cheap shotting Dark. It's going to punish this rogue for coming out in the open with a big old Fist of Fury. Is going to eat a Breath of the Dying. Legs up on a Devil, looking to get a trick out of him. Does get a trick out of him. And that's going to be evasion out of the rogue as well. And Devil looking to catch himself a reset. With this evasion, should want to play very offensive. Going to be blind onto Dark. Actually, very interesting play here. Blind onto Dark is going to go for a cheap shot, trying to see if he can get a reopener. Honestly, should have went with that evasion offensively. Got some calm points and cooldowns off of the Monk. It's going to land a Kindle shot off of a DR. DR Kindle shot off of a cheap shot. Hitting Dark with a Maledict. Not going to... I mean, Dark is not going to stand there and catch Vivify. Try to see if it might be able to catch up with the Rogue. Reversing the Mally at the very last second. Devil eating a lot of that reduction. It's going to be hit by Tentacle from beyond. It's going to pop himself into a vanish and looking for a reset. Should be very, very afraid of his health. Opening up with a Kindle shot. Actually staying offensive with Dark. Dark could trinket us any moment. Now it's going to be Devil popping in some dots onto him. Dark could port next to Devil if he wanted to. Is going to try to see if he can cast a heal into Devil's face, and it's going to end up taking him out with reverse harm. Very unfortunate for that rogue. He very much wanted to play offensive though. He wanted to stay in, so I really got to give him the credit, man. But honestly, as a rogue, if you really feel like you need to catch a reset and vanish and whatever, might be a good idea. Dark popping in Karma as he sees Thorns coming up from Cressida. Cressida is going to tank up this damage as best as possible, trying to see if they might be able to head back to the entrance, head back to their starting area and recover through HOTS. But Dark is going to stay aggressive. Christina might just pop a second wall right then and there. A big bite coming out, I think, onto the Monk maybe? Christina popping in the wall. As Dark is still staying super aggressive. Has a trinket in case Christina has an CC for him. Christina's actually out of options. Bash out of Dark. It's going to trinket out of it. Taking out Christina immediately and bailing out before the next competitor comes in. Lancelot is going to start a little bit closer to Dark than I wanted, but that's okay. I think it's first time in this duels. Just make sure to start in the room. He didn't move out for the monk originally, so maybe he's just super excited. Red's going to be ringing peace, trying to zone out the pets of the Unholy Death Knight. Is going to be doing a good work. Just how much of Lancelot is he got some cooldowns rolling on himself. AMS is up for Lancelot. Actually, perfect AMS. The tentacle slab crashes down on him, actually absorbing it. That's going to be the Unholy Death Knight's pets exploding all around the monk as he gets a whole another set of a full set of army up onto Dark. Dark still has plenty of mobility to get away. That's going to be Mage to the Dead attacking him though. Should get quite enough slows in there. As Lancelot trying to find himself some line of sight on Dark, it's going to go for a Whirling Dragon Punch, taking a bit of damage from all those pets. Pets explode with the stun coming out. Lancelot doing as much damage as he humanly can. Vicifury trying to see if he can counter him with a Karma to follow Lancelot. Better play this one very defensive, otherwise this could be damage. He just reverses back onto himself. And I don't think that's what he wants to do. With the disarm coming down onto the Demon... I only keep wanting to call him Demon Hunter. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Demon Hunter. I guess DH and DK is just like same thing in my head, right? Damn. But that's going to be Death Knight down for the cow and disarm so he couldn't even heal. Let's put him the 5% dampening with my other Shadow Priest. Gonna be up next, Brian with a dono. I think Warriors Haste. I don't know what the Warriors are saying in the Warrior Discord. I would join the Warrior Discord, see what they're saying. But I think versatility is what Warriors would want to stack for survivability. Can we get a hashtag Brian in chat? Well, aren't Fury Warriors having trouble with damage? Wouldn't going for... Wait, are you going for res? I think he's trying to force Dark from behind the pillar. I think he was actually trying to res. Trinkets out of an incap with a great fate just to walk up next to Dark. Very interesting play by my other Shadow Priest. That's going to be dispelled by Dark. Reversing the dots back into my other SP. Who's going to go into Void Form for a second. Trying to see if he might be able to play against Dark. He just trinketed. He just trinketed into a disperse with a vampiric embrace. And Shadow Priest trying to stay aggressive with a monk. He got a mindbender trying to walk up and slap him with the tentacles. Trying to aim the monk on the other side. The mindbender's at least getting some damage. My other SP, we just continue to play super aggressive. Fear onto the monk with a trinket for him. Getting the images back up and running. The images are feared, but they are fighting through Fists of Fury as best as they can. VT is coming up for my other SP. Trying to land a mind control onto Dark. He's going to land an incap for a second to see have a sweep. Afterwards, it's going to be a wall for him right now as Mother SP just doesn't have a lot of healing available. Getting interrupted on his heal. Fist of Fury not letting him go anywhere. I think this man is maybe down for the count and does get hit with a stun. And that's going to be full mind control to walk him away. If my other SP can somehow survive this, this will be insane. Because this man is playing super giga offensive, trinketed. And incap, that's going to be Karma onto my other SP. No way to deal with this Karma. Trying to maybe land a mind control. It's going to be Ringo Boopity Bob getting him out. And down he goes. Very unfortunate to see how that ended. Dark went up for a big old 1v5. Man, the other team I think was just not prepared. That trinket. Interesting, interesting. Alright, but this is going to be the first one here, man. The first one out of the gates. Let's get another one going, yeah? I kind of want to get back Pelor. Let's go Piku Tompa versus Pelor just because we haven't seen Tompa in such a long while. Yo, Brian, can we get a hashtag Brian in chat showing appreciation for the wonderful donation, my man? First, second, I think haste versatility is probably what most Fury Warriors. There's not a lot of Fury Warriors to PvP right now, but there's a lot of them to play. Third thing, maybe Mastery might be a viable choice to lose out on all that defensiveness. I think Warriors want to be as defensive as possible, so versatility is the obvious choice. However, with Fury having low damage output might make Mastery a better stat for pure PvP if you're trying to just do damage and really just crash through the party. You know what I mean? Mastery empowers all the damage you do, and if you're able to combo that together with like trinkets and big bursts available, you might have some in there. I would hit up the Warrior Discord if you can Google it. Google class Discords, and there should be a Discord for every single one. In the Rogue Discord, there's a section for PvP. I would guess the Warrior Discord would have the same section just for PvP as well. I'm part of myself the Mage Discord, Demon Hunter Discord, Hunter Discord, and Paladin Discord. I don't visit them that often, but if there's ever a question, I usually hit them up. Discords usually have all these community members of that class that make guides, that talk about stuff regularly. They can give opinions and thoughts. Demon Hunter being probably like the smallest one right now in the community there. But then again, yeah. But anyway, thank you so much, man, for your appreciate you. I don't know how good Master Stacking is. I would ask someone like Cat. A lot of the guys in our Discord too actually play Fury as well. So if you want to hit them up with like champions, add them or something, and like, yo, you got a question on the classes, could you help me out? I think a lot of them, if they have any ideas, they'll probably give you good information, man. Alrighty. Was the Demon Hunter last game? Wait, Pickle, you were part of that one? Oh, you were the DH. Oh, okay, you already have a group. Okay, we'll get Bach then in. I don't know if you have a group or not then. So I guess Pins versus Ornosh. Yeah, Bach, I gotcha. Crippers and Bach. Okay. If Crippers is on the same character. Crippers and Bach. You have no target. Crippers, is he online or is maybe another character? Because I can't do Pelor. Unless we copy paste it, like type it in the chat. Let's see if Bach is online. Baczynski is online. Pelor. I think it's all the way at the bottom, right? Crippers, okay. Kripe. Crippers. And... okay, Bach, I fucked up. I had it with a K with it, not a C. A C-K, not a C-H. Here we go. Now we should be good. Let's get another one going, boys. The Grand Arena is going to be the next one. Up and running. Hey, what's up, Tobias? I did my man. Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Yeah, I do wonder if viewers could play with a mastery build. I mean, normally you don't, because you want to try to get yourself as much survivability as possible, versatility. But maybe Fury Warriors wouldn't see him as much because they don't have nearly as much damage. So you might have to play a ballsy build, a ballsy playstyle with mostly master stacking. Maybe, because mastery would directly increase your damage. Another crit used to be a good stat, but I think that trait, Cold Steel Hot Blood, is not as good recently with the recent build, since everybody is not as tanky anymore. When everybody went tanky, I think that was a little bit different. But that's definitely something to test. So Twitch, what do we have today? We got ourselves Baczynski on Team Red. We got ourselves Love Kate. We got ourselves... what's the name? Kane? We got ourselves Kane. We got ourselves Not. And we got ourselves... Osley? Look at Osley, dude. That's as good as I can do, man. I can't do anything better than that. It's going to be Kane going on first versus Crippers on Team Blue. Team Blue also has Illidonid. We got ourselves Farting Shot. We got ourselves Drainers and Anthrax. Anthrax? Yeah, Anthrax, I guess. Cooper's taking quite a bit of damage from Love Kate in the opener. He's going to have to go for a little bit of defensive play. The Pharaoh is not letting him go anywhere. Sprinting up at him. It's going to be a Hodge. Where the wings coming out for Crippers, and Love Kate is going to back out of there immediately. For Crippers, this gives him an opportunity to catch some heals, but maybe not without interrupt, as Love Kate still continues to get aggressive. It's going to be Shield of Vengeance off of those thorns, going to pop back at the Feral. Not quite yet, no, he actually went. He still took damage from it, even though it looked like he lined aside it. It looks like Shield of Vengeance goes through the wall, or maybe it's some kind of AU lag going on here. Going to be Human Rachel out of Crippers, out of that stun, even though it's super short. And it's going to try to stay as defensive as he can. Try to do offensive pressure every time the Feral is at him. And try to heal himself whenever the Feral is going for land aside. He's expecting for that Feral to pop out and try for a skull bash any moment there. That's going to be a Hodge on all FK. Wings coming up for Crippers. I think middle long wings maybe. Or maybe full wings. He's going to try to see if he can get some damage in. Looks like he got actually DR'd on Globals. Looks like he didn't have the Globals to get the big damage in. Forced a bubble out of Crippers. It looks like Kane is looking to get behind the pillar. Got quite a lot of cooldowns out of Crippers in the opener here. Popping in the wall. Last wall available for the Feral Druid. It's going to try to see if they might be able to get himself a bit of reset. Crippers is the one who's trying to play counter-offensive, trying not to let him go anywhere at all. Kate needs to get a root or something. Does go for a short stun onto Crippers. It's a dressing gown trick and a Hodge to follow. Does Crippers have enough? Thorns are up on the Feral. Safeguard Trinket might not survive this actually. If he continues his damage, he actually might want to back up for a moment. Looks like Kate is going to back up as well. They could come in with a Skull Bash and get super aggressive if they wanted to. Crippers is super low. Try to see if he might be able to fan out the Feral, but looks like the Feral is staying not too far, but not too close either. Is going to come back in, putting up them bleeds. Might go for behind the pillar play. Try to get a big old body to Crippers. Is able to bash to follow. Bob coming out for Crippers, taking all the bleeds off, trying to get the Feral out of there, trying to stop himself harassed by the Feral. The Feral's harass has been super effective so far. And Crippers is going to have to go for a few flashlights. He's actually exhausted every defensive available. Might have wings available sometime soonish. Shield events coming back in a few seconds. Kate coming back in with a trinket. Renewal available and a wall in only 40 seconds. Thorns up immediately. Crippers does not want to fight into Thorns. It's going to be trinket for Kate just to stay on top of Crippers because he knows he's just going to try to run away. So better stay as aggressive as possible with a Paladin. Crippers cycle through the slows. Shield of Vengeance is up as Thorns is down for Kate. Kate no longer with a trinket though, but no Hodge available for Crippers for a while. Does the renewal. Try to save the renewal until later. Might want to make sure they're in bear form in case they get hit with a Hodge. Does get hit with a Shield of Vengeance through the wall, yet again is going to pop in bear form with the renewal to get the most amount of healing. And so far Crippers and Kate have had such a back and forth right now. Wings are up for Crippers. Does Kate have anything into a maim, into a dress, into a bite onto Crippers, trying to see if he can end the fight right then and there. Into a root onto Crippers. As the man got himself full set of wings up and running. This has to be his big play. This has to be his biggest go right now. Having to pop and heal on himself. Every other global has cooldowns available, but still having to play defensive wall up for Kate with Thorns as well. Just needs to get one kick into Crippers, missing the skull bash, trying to suppress the healing available for Crippers as they try to fight for the life, trying to flash the light as often as possible. Kate got some cooldowns still rolling and available. Does he catch himself a reset? He does catch a reset for a second. Incarnation is giving him full value, but he's going to have to use that incarnation very defensively. Crippers probably gonna have a trinket for this one at this point. Nothing left for Crippers. If Kate can just blast out the most amount of damage right now, they might have it here. Hodge onto Kate. No Shield of Vengeance. Did have a bunch of bleeds available. Crippers does not want to engage with this. He actually wants to catch himself line of sight. This would have been a perfect go if he had anything, but looks like this man, which is completely out of juice. Kate catching a quick heal, even catching a restyle through a judgment. How does that even happen? Unless it's Shadow Melted for that one. Is going to try to see if he can get on top of Crippers. And just to make sure their kick is perfect here. No more defenses available. Wings are up for Crippers. Thorns are up to Crippers. Needs to be aware of his own health. Maybe it could be an interrupt by Kate right now. Crippers in a bad spot. Does not want to hit into Thorns if he can help it. That was Wings. Not getting that much use out of it. Kate has a renewal back up. Might want to use it ASAP. Wall available. Very soon. Trinket available so soon. Crippers barely alive. Trying to fight for his health. Not even dampening it. The damage out of the two has been super high. Octane right now. Bash onto Crippers. Does he have a human racial? Shield of Vengeance available if he can use it. Might want to use it ASAP. Kate has renewal back up, trinket back up, and that's going to be wall available very soon. Crippers trying to get aggressive with his Shield of Vengeance. He's not, while Kate is trying to avoid the Shield of Vengeance as best possible. That's free damage that he's taken through the wall a couple times. Wants to try to get away from the shield, take no damage this time. At least the Crippers is going to back up to his side of the pillar for a second. Actually backing up all the way in the corner, trying to get Kate out in the open. Maybe it was trying to head over to the eyes or maybe to the other pillar before the Feral attacks him. Going to be a Hodge with Thorns. Kate not trinket in this one. Going to save the trinket until things really go bad. Crippers trying to see if he might be able to get some range damage while Wings are up and running. And as soon as he sees the Feral bailing away behind the pillar, he's going to catch himself a heal or two. Wall up for Kate right now. Does Crippers actually want to be in? He has nothing left. I don't know if he actually wanted to get on top of the Feral. Probably should have spent more time behind the pillar healing maim right now. Does he have the dress? Bash right after. Big bite maybe could end it all. Crippers does get himself sneak in a Crucible Flame, trying to get a flashlight. No skull bash out of Kate, and Crippers looks like he's going to be able to flashlight himself to full. Kate out of offensive pressure is going to dress to drop down Crippers' health down to a half after Crippers had a good recovery. Hodge to Kate, does he go for anything? No trinket. Wings are up for Crippers. Kate can wait this out. Has renewal. Crippers has not been able to go for a full-on blasting damage. 20 seconds left on the bubble. Can he survive until the bubble is back up? Trying to see if he might be able to get a flashlight through the Feral. It looks like Skull Bash has been used by the Feral. Cannot really do much except keep Crippers out low. Does he realize there's a bubble available in just 5 seconds? No, he could go down here. Crippers stayed. Oh my goodness. 3 seconds left on that one, boys. 3 seconds. 3 seconds left. Only 3 seconds was left. Crippers could have had a massive defensive out of that one. Trinket for Illidari. It sees the damage out of Kate. They're throwing in Malik at the Feral, man. 6 minutes into this duel, 10% dampening Kate. Taking a lot of pressure as the Demon Hunter is on top of him right now. Reaping Flames at the end just took him out. Actually incredible. That Reaping Flame was just perfect. He had the Paladin low enough. Was Safeguard who? The Feral? Bro, if you have to run Safeguard for duels, I would make sense, right? A defensive trinket? Dress, defensive trinket, Reaping Flames. And that's going to be Illidan taking a little bit of damage from a distance, fully blood up, trying to heal himself with crucibles while he's got metamorphosis, increasing his leech, so increasing his own health increase, looking for the Feral to get offensive, but Kate is actually going to go for a full defensive play right now. As Illidan, I mean, he needs to activate Spectral Sight immediately, try to I-beam around the corner, doesn't hit the Feral, so the Feral is actually getting a full nice reset, and looks like someone is going to clip the Feral out in the open, does hit him with a bash, Dresser got to follow. It might have enough damage here with a big old maim, no bite after this. That's going to be Darkness for the Demon Hunter. Kate just needs to bail out of there before he starts healing off of him. This is going to get himself a Crucible. Super low on health still. Darkness absorbing a good portion of the damage. Illidan could still be in a really bad spot. Illidanid. That's what his name. Illidanid? Something like that. I-beam is going to get him stabilized by a hair. Unless Kate can just give him no target to hit. Try to stay in barrel form. Renewal is coming out. He's going to get himself a small heal. Does he play Guardian Affinity with Frenzy Regen? I haven't seen him pop Swiftman at all. So I think it's Guardian Affinity actually. It's going to be the eyes available for the Demon Hunter is going to go for a self-heal instead. He knows where the Feral is at. As we hit in the 8-minute mark, 20% dampener, boys. We're going to see how well it works out for this Feral, because so far he had a really good run against Scoopers. Has a really favorable position against Illidan as he goes for a double stone. Big bite to follow. Does he have enough here? That should be enough. Blur is up and Thorns right after. So the Demon Hunter just has nothing to do. He can't even hit the Feral to recover his health. He can't actually do anything at that point. And Farting Shot is going to be up next as a Dwarf Survival Hunter. A Dark Iron Dwarf Survival Hunter. So he's going to play a perfect racial combo against what a Feral wouldn't want to play against, because he can just take off all the bleeds twice. He can take him off with Mending Bandages once, with a racial another, and use that racial in order to turn it around for damage. It's going to be a hibernate onto the Hunter's pet as he's looking just to stay away from Kate. It looks like maybe he was able to break his pet out of hibernate somehow, or maybe the Feral never finished the hibernate. But Kate is taking quite a bit of damage. This is going to pop a wall, re-stun onto Farting Shot, try to dress him. It's going to hit him with the dress, but then its dress is split between him and the pet. And Farting Shot is going to try to stay afloat as best as he can. That's going to be a big defensive for the Hunter. He's popping Manic Bandages with a Turtle Shell. I don't really know if he needed to pop both of those. But that's going to be a Hibernate onto the pet as the Hunter trying to set up traps for Kate. In case Kate is going to go for a reset and trying to get around the corner. Is going to tag the Feral before the damage really goes out. Needs to make sure not to hit with melee attacks into the Thorns right now. Mongoose Bite and Aspect of the Eagle will be perfect for this. It's going to be a Badger to Farting Shot. Might be end right here. Kate is building up combo points. Might have a big old bite available. What goes for a big old bite onto Farting as he has no turtle, no nothing. And Drainers is going to be up next as an Elemental Shaman. Not going to allow Love Kate to catch a reset in a full stealth. Maim is going to hit Drainers, though not going to knock him back immediately, however. Instead, he's going to go for a couple of healing surges. I was trying to see if he might be able to get himself... Oh, I just noticed the two images available behind the pillar. The monk will just set him up in the same spot. Kind of funny. Lovekate is looking like he actually wants to go for a full reset with the Elemental Shaman. Lasso could be coming out any moment. And I think that's exactly what he's afraid of. He's afraid of going against Lasso without having defensives. Because with Drainers, that could be quite a lot of damage. And it looks like Drainers has an extra shield surrounding himself. A Rod Den shield is going to get a knockback onto Lovekate. For just a moment, not going for the lasso just yet as a dress comes out for Kate. Kate does get to pre-wall the lasso, so that's a pretty good defensive. Drainers could have waited with the lasso a little bit later. But that's going to be a Fire Elemental dropping in for the Elemental Shaman. Might have to play this very defensively. He's doing a bit of damage to Kate, but he's also taking a lot of damage right now. Bash to follow, Trinkets out of it immediately. Wall available, might want to wall this. Maybe even swap out to the other pet and get a double wall. Is going to hit Kate with a big old Earth Shock. It looks like Drainers is just fine, taking a bit of damage with his own health, but he is playing offensively. He is trying to get some damage set up into Kate. He's trying to focus on damage more than self-heals. With 38% dampening, that might not be the worst idea ever. Especially with a Feral that could just interrupt you on a heal. So you better focus on doing as much damage as humanly possible whenever possible. But that Fire LA is going to be gone for a bit. For Drainers, it's going to be quite a bit of burst damage just gone. Still not completely out of the fight. Is going to cap himself behind the pillar and needs to go for a bit of a self-heal. Is going to get those healing surges, but at 41% dampening, the heal surges don't do anything. Kate reopening it back up onto Drainer, trying to go for a big old bite, and actually going to go, I think, for a bleed setup. Put bites on Drainer and just let him run away with bites. Drainer staying in Ghost Wolf as much as possible in order to try to stay as healing as possible. Probably has Ghost Wolf talents to give him healing as well as damage reduction. Gonna be a lasso onto Kate. Is gonna trick it out with the Earth Elemental popping out. Might need to pipe a wall here for the Earth Elemental. Doesn't really have a lot of health. And down he goes with Kate taking him out. Rogue comes in with Anthrax doing a cheap shot onto Kate with a Garrote Raptor trying to get the dots up and running. Gonna be thorns up for the Feral. As it took out the Shaman. That's gonna be Cloak as well as Evasion available for Anthrax. With as well as a Vendetta. Vanishing coming out. Offensive Vanish trying to go for a cheap shot onto K. Probably a bit of a misplay by the Rogue into a blind onto Olive K. Does hatch himself a reset. That's going to be double cheap shot while Twisted Pages up into a Kidney Shot. With the Feral catching himself a reset of his own into a Destro dress onto Anthrax. That's going to be a Safeguard Trinket popping in for the Rogue. Not completely out of the fight, but definitely in a very, very dire situation. It looks like Kate was able to turn around at the very last second. And Kate taking 10 million damage. I think it's probably the most amount of damage we've seen out of any character in his 5v5 1v1 duels. It wasn't even the longest duel. He just did so much damage. Who healed a ton? Crippers did. That's what it was. So Crippers was at least 5 million extra damage. On this was got healed through it. And then the rest of the boys. That's actually quite good. That was actually quite good. I like how the Feral stayed mostly aggressive. There were a few moments where he had a full reset, but he stayed mostly aggressive, just back in there again and again and again. I kind of like that. That's actually kind of good. A back pedal log, what could go wrong, dude? Yeah, we went there for a cheap shot Vanish, tried a cheap shot right after. It's just like, man, I don't know how that's gonna go, but there it is, boys. But there it is. All right, let's get another going, yeah? Let's get another one going, boys. EU 250 something 4. Perfect. Wait, what? 254 5. Here we go. Nolden is here. We're ready for the group. Oh man, I gotta get you versus Prince, Vodka, or Ornage. Let's do Prince and Ornage since they were the first ones to request, and we'll get you versus Alex. How does that sound, Nolden? How you doing, by the way, my man? Hope you're having a good one. We got Cracker like over here-ish. Look at Prince, Vodka, and Ornage. Here we go. That'll work. Runes of Lord Aeron, boys. Ooh, Plox. And Pick a Pillow. Pricey on one team? And Pelcher. Oh my. All of them are boomers, dude. Wait, that's triple boomer team. What is going on? Okay, I'll allow it. Normally I'm like only 2 of each class, but triple boomy, they're not that good in duels. I want to see how good boomy can be. I want to see all these boys make boomy look good. Since you get duels at Dal, oh, what do you get at Chick-fil-A? Normally I get like a spicy chicken sandwich, fries, and a large drink. What about you, AJ? How you doing, by the way, man? Hope you're having a good one. Back on the Lord, yeah. Bless the Rogue, dude. Bless that guy. You know, he's first time trying these duels, most likely, man. You know what I mean? The dot damage is quite ridiculous from the Feral. I would hope dot damage from Feral will be good. Search Horde Group, Don and Malganis. Alright, man. Sounds good, Esmir. We'll try to get you in as soon as we can, yeah? Alright, boys. Switch. We got ourselves triple threat, triple boomer, and normally for these duels there's a rule: no 2 of any class. However, boomkins are not particularly good at duels, and there's 3 of them, and at least one of them should do well, right? Pricey swapping out to be a goblin all of a sudden with Larissa in the back. It looks like it's going to be LOL first up, doing so much damage to Pick a Pillow already, popping into bear form, trying to heal up as much as possible. Huge heals available for Pika. Does also have the Warlock Hellstone, and LOL is actually going to be on the retreat as Pika finally able to get some casts off. On Team Red, we also got Jen, we got ourselves M6, we got ourselves Ornage, as well as Phased. And LOL gonna charge right back into this big old boomer. As Pika just trying to maintain the dots as best as possible. Popping in a trinket, I think for a health maybe. That's going to be Incarn with a disarm onto LOL. Does go for a stun. Ivan to follow. War stun for Pick a Pillow for a second. Is going to get a couple star surges in there. LOL got himself full blur up and running. Should be a lot of defensive intro and interrupt into Pick a Pillow. Still has frenzied regeneration to go into bear form and catch at least some heals. Actually, out of all defenses, it looks like LOL is going to be able to slap him down with Pelter going to be up next from one boomkin into another. At least one of those boomkins should be able to take down a Demon Hunter, right? At least one of them should be able to. Into a full stun onto Pelcher. As LOL goes for a bit of a blade dance. There's so much raw damage. Thorns are off for Pelcher, and LOL knows not to attack Thorns at all. He's actually just going to back up completely while his health is high. And Pelcher's going to catch a few heals or two. Yeah, Lowell's taking a bit of damage from afar. But he knows Thorns is just going to be deadly to him. He cannot hit into Thorns, cannot give the Boomkin that extra freebie damage. You literally cannot do that. But to sneak it in around the refresh of a Moonfire onto Lowell. I think that's all he can do right now. Did he pop it to stealth? I think he did for a second. Trying to coax Lowell out from behind the pillar is going to get his with stun. Trinkets out of it while in stack form into bear form immediately. While Lowell got himself blur up, back up, and running into a short war stomp onto Lowell. Does he have any roots? I feel like if you play the root play style, you might be able to keep the Demon Hunter at bay for far longer. And Lowell going in for a stun onto Pelcher. All he needs is Metamorphosis and he'll be in a good spot. Thorns are up onto Pelcher. Lowell needs to find a way if he can dispel it. That's actually quite a lot of damage going back to the Demon Hunter in darkness right now. Throwing a bike at Pelcher. Pelcher needs to walk him out of there immediately. Disarm onto Lowell with an eye beam to fall. It does get to silence it. Bark's got available for Pelcher. No more Thorns available. Lowell does get Demon form back up and running. He should be able to heal through a lot unless Pelcher has the big damage to cap him out right here. Popping into bear form, going for his heal as much as he can. Lowell flying up in the air. Does Pelcher actually wants to challenge him? He does not want to challenge him on a range battle. Just rather go behind the pillar and catch a couple regrowths. Lowell was doing so much damage while above in the air. More than a balanced druid from a distance, but he's super low in health. Maybe Pelcher might be able to do something here. Star Search coming out. Dots are on Lowell. Almost had enough. And Pelcher taking him out. M6 going to be up next as a Fury Warrior just kind of zooming all over the place. Thorns are off for Pelcher. Into a disarm into M6. He's going to trick it out the disarm. And that's going to be a bash to Pelcher. Pop Thorns, but he's super low in health. He doesn't want to take the damage. He'd rather not take Thorns damage from a warrior at this point. That's going to be a bit of a reset for Pelcher as he goes in for stealth. Might be able to catch himself a little bit of heals as M6 is obviously going to pick up the eye. Pelcher actually taking down Lowell was quite something, actually. It's so crazy how much damage a Demon Hunter has, you know? Pelcher behind the pillar on his own team, just in this little ledge on the side of the door. That's going to be M6 hitting him with a stun. And trying really hard not to cleave. If you have to, yo, M6, if you need to whirlwind as part of your playstyle, man, you can. If that's like, if you're trying to do single target, and you're like, man, I want to cleave these other guys. Yo, if Pelcher is in a team, dude, and if you got a whirlwind for single target, you whirlwind for single target. You know what I mean? Blazestorm coming in for M6. Immune to CC, but he's taking M6 taking a bit of damage, going for a leap charge onto Pelcher. Doesn't him interrupt onto a nature spells. That's going to be a bash by Pelcher onto M6. That does not have another leap or another charge available. He has the Stormbolt maybe. But Pelcher catching a reset. M6 trying to go for some food. Pelcher poking out is going to moonfire him to get the food out of the way. And that's going to be a Stormbolt by the Warrior. Into Trinket, Pelcher into Thorns. M6 popping and Reflect. Reflect is only going to last so much longer. That's going to be Pelcher actually trying to get offensive. M6 Safeguard Trinket coming up. Might have to go for Enrage Regeneration here. Pelcher popping and Barkskin on top of this. Trying to get some Solar Rats back to M6. Is going to get interrupted on Nature. Can go for Arcane damage if he needs to. That's going to have a little bit longer cast. Into a Disarm onto M6. Pelcher get hit with a big old Gesture Gath. Needs to reheal as much as he can. Into a Frenzy Regen while in Bear form up and running. Is going to try to get whatever instant cast damage he can into M6. M6 recovering on health without having to use Enrage Regeneration just yet. And Pelcher trying to see if he might be able to do enough damage. Bash onto M6. Does he have enough from here? Does not go for Root. Goes for Regrowth instead. So all Rats trying to come out, but he's going to get interrupted. I think M6 might have him here. Big old Exec is coming out of the Warrior. And the third Boomkin comes out. Can this Boomkin do this at this point? Lowell's down. M6 just needs to go down. And then the rest of it is going to be casters and phased. Can any of these Boomies go for more than just one kill? Pick a Pillow had a hard time against Lowell, but he did as well as he could. Pelcher took down the Demon Hunter and almost took down the Warrior. Now Plox is to take down M6, Jen, and then lose to the third guy. to kind of have this like gradual upgrade of boomers into a disarm onto M6 as Prox is actually punishing M6 for a bit. Reflect comes out a little bit late. If Prox has Thorns very soon, he might be able to get himself a huge Thorn setup because no more Reflect available for M6. No more Enrage Regeneration either. Stormbolt onto Prox is going to take a little bit of damage. Has Renewal in Bear Form. He's going to pop Renewal in Bear Form with Frenzied Regeneration. I think he might have to go for more root plays. He might just have to go for root spamming onto the melee. I think it might help. It's going to get kicked on Arcane, so you can go for Nature Spells. Going for Regrowth as soon as he sees Reflect from M6, and it's going to cap him off with a big old Arcane, what is it called? Astral? Right now it's going to be called Starfire and Shadowlands, but right now it's called Astral something. Astral Blast? Close enough. I'm literally already living in Shadowlands, boys. It's called Starfire for all I know. And that's going to be Price, just surrounded by the army of the dead. Actually going for a massive heal right now. Has a Warlock Hellstone from Pricey as well. That's going to be a Pet Stone to follow as he's trying to get himself whatever heals possible. Lots of Necrotics coming up from FaZe. As FaZe hasn't popped a single defensive. Prox is just melting right in front of our eyes. I don't think it's going to be able to even come close. And down he goes. All the Boomkins got to play as much as they could. I think Blizzard should buff Boomkins for single target in duels. I think Boomkins should give Boomkins a buff for duels. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Larissa is going to be up next. The Frost DK versus Unholy. Dress coming out from Larissa, but it is getting split amongst the two pets the FaZe has. So the pets actually soak up a good portion of the damage. Everybody thinks it's an AoE trinket. It's not. It's a trinket that'll do a set amount of damage to everyone around. So the more enemies you have, the less damage everybody takes. But if you have one person, it'll plunge all those spikes into that one target. So if you can somehow maybe get FaZe to walk away from the pets, then that might do it. As FaZe is going to resummon another pet, as I guess one of his normal pets is just about dead. With all the Khalifa Larissa is being actually just vicious. With FaZe, he just continued the AoE. FaZe can't outrun him. He's just trying to run circles around the guy. But all he can do is hit him with a chain of ice. Looks like FaZe got the reinforcements back up. The army of the dead is joining the fight. Larissa should be able to cleave right through them. And actually doing so much damage to FaZe. Dobbs popped himself the Dark Pact. FaZe doesn't have the Dark Pact of his own, so he's actually still in the bad spot. He's going to grip Larissa on top of him. Probably not the move that he wanted to. Try to see if he might be able to survive. Larissa popping in AMS as all their health is completely necrotic out. Is going to trick it out of that pet stun. And super low in health themselves. FaZe, I think, might have been able to turn this run. Short stun on Larissa with Apocalypse, so that's going to be down. Goes the Frost DK with Pricey coming up next. Dropping down. Dots onto FaZe. FaZe is going to drop down a bomb. They're exchanging the big bets. Going to be AMS for FaZe as the Chaos Bolts are about to fly. Pricey could pop a wall and just try to get as much damage as possible. Cataclysm trying to happen. It's going to be gripped by FaZe. Doesn't go for any interrupts whatsoever. Pricey trying to land a fear. Not going to happen. That's going to be Chaos Bolt for free, and FaZe is going to take the Chaos Bolt to the face while Inferno is attacking him. Is going to go for big death strikes right now, though. Is going to go for massive death strikes for the moment. Pricey still has massive cooldowns available. Dark Soul stability does go down. Twisted Appendages are doing so much for him. Since FaZe isn't killing those things. He needs to get a melee to kill those. Wall coming up for Pricey, trying to get a Chaos Bolt up and running. Stun after a grip trick inside of it. Just one more Chaos Bolt is needed. Second Chaos Bolt coming out. No, doesn't make it out. Their Chaos Bolt does not get interrupted. Late the interrupt comes in, and Pricey does take down the DK just to get blasted by Ornash and just didn't even stand a chance. Oh my god, there's so many Boomkins out here, dude. So many big old boobers. So many Boomkins, man. I swear. That was great. That's a lot of feathers, dude. That's a lot of pillows gonna be made from them, you know what I mean? Pick a pillow, dude. He knows. He knows. He knows it's gonna be stuffed. His feathers are gonna be stuffed in pillows after he's done and over with. All right, boys. Let's go. Yeah, let's go, boys. However, your community is fantastic. Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Antrax. Appreciate it. Send a friend request. All right, Van. Which one are you on Real ID? What's your Real ID, my dude? I have too many people trying to add me, so I need you guys to help me out. Who is who? Who is you? Dal has a way of making things sound exciting when nothing's happening. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What, you talk about that game? Yeah, that game, nothing was happening, dude. Yeah. It's just a bunch of idiots running around circles, blasting each other's spells. That's all it is. Nothing happened, really. Cheers, Dal. How's it going? What's up, Wolf? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Guy says, buff mages when reds are still in the game. What? Should we remove Reds out of the game? Next Shadowland update. Retribution Paladin has been removed. Bye. All the developer note message is going to be like, bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. Just taking Reds out of the game. Good thing. It's fun. Dal going to do some keys now. Drovin was fun. I'm glad it was, man. I'm glad it was. Yeah, Boomies are not that great for duels, but they're actually not bad for twos, man. I got my ass kicked by Boomkin. Like a real Boomy main, they're actually pretty good. Boomies are not terrible. They're like Shadow Priests, though. They need a healer. I think we go to Nolden and Alex next, and we got ourselves Warwick back in. We can maybe get Warwick versus Pelor or Krager. Krager wants to play, so maybe do like this. Piku, does he have a group? Who's a Demon Hunter that game? Okay, that won't work. Piku, what's he? Boomkin as well? Pick a Tompa, pick a pillow. Alex and Nolden. Here we go, boys. Oh, Zypex wasn't able to join. Nolden, I don't know if you are the lead of the group or not, but it says Zypex wasn't able to join. Unless it's your character's name. And then make sure we are online on Real ID. I'll give you like a 30 seconds or so, yeah? No, like the only class that need to get buffs is Red Paladins. You think Paladins need a buff? Oh. Why? Dalaranчик, привет, как жив, здоров? Не, нормально, скин, нормально, как дела тебе, man? Как дела тебе, друг? Хорошо настроение, снимаю. Yeah, Skin just says, yo, what's up, Dal? How you doing, man? Dalaranчик, that's what he called me. I like that, I like that. Yo, have a good one, man. I told him same thing, yo, have a good time. Hope you enjoy the stream. Sending best wishes and all that, you know what I mean? Pretty sure Atherman is smiling in the comment if you saw it. Yeah. Atherman is just like, yeah, yeah. Pally buff. Yeah, if you guys think Paladin should get a buff, I would say watch Atho. And then come back. And then come back. Nolden. I don't know if your team is ready. Let me actually check if Nolden is online at all. Nolden is online, but I guess he's in the same team as... Are you in the same team as Alex? I'm going to guess you're in the same team as Alex. So what we're going to do is get Warwick in here. I don't know if Nolden's in the same team as Alex, but it's only letting me push one team out. So I'm going to go Warwick. Warwick. Pick a Pill wasn't able to join the queue. Wait, who's the lead of who? I'm trying to get Alex and Warwick in here. Don't have a group. I thought I messaged Alan. Have a group. Oh, okay. We can get Alex versus Crag. He and Krager all played actually, so we can do Pelor, Krager versus Bach, I guess. I just thought to say, oh, my bad. Yeah. All right, we can go Alex and Crippers. Should that work? All right, message me, guys, if you're the leader and you have a group. Message me on Real ID right now while we're in the next game. If you're the lead of a group and you have a 5-man team, or if you have like a 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, and we could just get some people in here as well. Van Roo, all right, Van Roo. Somebody remind me about Van Roo after this game, okay, boys? Somebody remind me about Van Roo right after this game, alrighty, man? I'll get you in as soon as I can, yeah? Alrighty, boys. Switch. Ooh, quite a bit of oh, it's a lot of paladins. Yo, Crippers, I'll allow it this once, but can we only do 2 paladins a team? Motherfucker, why are there so many paladins on your team? Only 2 of each class, except your boomkins and pharaohs. You can have 2 pharaohs, 2 boomkins, no more. But you can have like 2 pharaohs and 1 boomkin, because they're the same class, but they play completely differently. That's like the one exception. But I'll allow it, but 3 paladins on 1 team playing like full heal build? That's not fun. Just gonna be honest. We got ourselves Earl, Wiggles. Oh wait, switch, did I do it? Earl, we got ourselves Farting Shot, Crippers, Illidan, and Mary, and Crippers got way too many paladins in his team. We got ourselves Donna on Team Blue. We got ourselves Junip. Is that what you call it? Oh, your boys are about to get launched. You guys are like, I guess we'll stay in the pipe. 3, 2, 1. Christina already down behind the pillar. Looks like he's going on first. Lancelot took a little bit of fall damage. A devil hanging around the back. If you guys want to sit on the stairs, it's perfectly fine. As the other team is doing. Christina's going to be first up versus Mary. Already going in for aggressive opener. Big bites out of Mary. Trinkets coming out. Took more than half his health out with Shield of Vengeance popping in. And Mary using that Thorns to fuel his damage for Shield of Vengeance. Looks like Shield is going to be decimating. Before we get it to pop into Christina. Pop in an early bubble. Christina knows how to push your buttons by the looks of it. Just getting all the cooldowns out of you. Hasn't even popped wings or nothing. Is going to trick it out of that stun. I think Mary wants to go for some damage himself. Trying to get some setup. I don't think he has a Hodge. I think he's just trying to go for damage by getting thrown in, I think, at Mary right now. And Christina finally getting in with a Hodge. I said, because Mary actually having to go defensive there. Having to pop a heal while wings are up just because he wasn't feeling all that good. Bash coming out onto Christina. Not feeling confident right here. Needs some survivability. Is going to go for the cutting spree around the pillar with Mary. As the Paladin got the big old wings. Once wings are done, the Paladin is not as quick as I thought it would be. It looks like Christina, how would you get around the pillar that fast? Just stealth and just get all the way around? I literally was watching you behind the pillar and it just disappeared. But I guess it's a stealth working in 12 ways, yeah? Mary, though, down on the bubble. Shield advantage coming up soon. Trinket not available in about 30 seconds. He should have a human racial available by the stun. Bob coming out off of that opener. Not even letting him get a chance. As the dampening hasn't set in, as we're only hitting that 2-minute mark in just a few more seconds, boys. Christina is going to catch himself a full reset. Christina's Trinket coming out actually in 30 seconds. While available very, very soon. Hodge onto Christina, does pre-thorns it. Mary trying to pop in wings. Is actually going to take, I think, more damage from those thorns than his wings can do. That's going to be super unfortunate. Does have a shield advantage for the thorns if he wants to do it. Big drastic death coming out from Christina. That's going to be shield advantage for Mary. As Christina boobs the snoot into the wall of boxes. It looks like Mary's going to try to stay on him as best as possible. Trying to min-max the damage he's got going on. Trying to maybe get that shield to pop next to Christina. Too far out of the way, though. Hodge under Christina does have a Trinket. No wall available. If Mary, with those wings, can actually bust through traffic steer, there is Christina. He might be able to do it. Mame coming out for Christina. Gonna be a human racial coming in for Mary, though. Unless it just was the shortest stun in the world. Looked like human racial came out. That's gonna be thorns up for Christina's Mary not taking it. Look at that good. He's actually gonna do. No. Oh my goodness. It was actually so close, dude. I couldn't even tell. Exactly. Is he actually gonna be able to go for healing? Defensive? He's just gonna go down? Or what? It looks like Illy's just trying to cap out Christina. Hit him with the mouth. I think Christina's completely down. Oh my goodness. Kicking the count while it's down. No Trinket available. I don't think he even had a wall available. Just hit him with a Malik and down he goes. Gonna be prison onto Donna. Donna missing the dressing out onto Illidy though. So that's gonna be quite bad for offensive power. It's gonna cap and imprison onto Illy. That's actually gonna back up themselves. I don't really know if that's a good idea. I would think you would want to stay offensive, but now the blur is activated for Illy. You might want to get away from the guy. He's going to Trinket out of that stun, interrupting Illy. Illy does not have the extra haste available. Still is able to heal quite a bit by coming out onto Donna, and Illy's going to fly up in the air. Donna looking to catch himself some line of sight. Not really doing a good job. Still taking so much freebie damage. That was a lot of free damage from Illy, though. It's going to hit him with a short stun into an I-beam. Actually, I think full stun there. Darkness coming down from Illy. Donna is trying to see if he might be able to survive it. Dropping down darkness, both of the demon hunters are amped up and ready to go. Illy just needs to make sure he has the first hit. That's going to be a big old I-beam off a big slapper stun. Double stun to follow. Might even a damage for Donna and does take him out. Donna does land the stun at the very end, but not enough for the other demon hunter to survive. And Lancelot is going to be next up the ladder, dropping down a big old A-bomb onto Illy. As he's still in full metamorphosis. That's a lot of things for him to cleave as the Army of the Dead joins the fight as well. Still, I think while Blur is up, while Demon Form is up, he should stay in and cleave as much as he can. That's a lot of self-heals available for him. Lancelot is gonna might even have to pop defensives here, as Illy still has quite a bit of damage. It's gonna be Trinket out of that stun. And big old slappers coming out from Illidanid. It's going to fly up in the air. No AM is available for Lancelot. Taking percentage damage. Does have IBF to hopefully keep him alive. But might be going down here. Barely alive. And oh my goodness. One more hit into Lancelot. One more clip with an ability. And he's just done for. Trying to stay surviving as much as possible. But Illidan just takes him out, man. Illidan had taken him out quite handily. Cheap Shot coming out for Devil. This is going to be up next versus the Demon Hunter. Backing up there for a second, waiting until his blur's available. This is going to have to go for self-heals. We're hitting the 5-minute mark. 1% dampening, boys. Is Devil going to be able to make a play here? Does get a cheap shot onto Illy. Spawn and Twisted Appendage is going to be eliminated, though. If Devil can get a full kidney shot with a full Twisted Appendage and go for a bunch of damage, he might have something here. He might legitimately have something. That's going to be more twist. He's actually getting super lucky with those, huh? Dalaran has to breathe once in a life. I don't need to breathe, boys. I put up 2 videos a day. And I do those videos with no breathing, dude. Have you not realized that I'm a human machine by this point? Gonna be trying to get himself a bit of a blade dance onto Devil, reversing down and stunning Devil, trinketing the stun towards the end of the duration. Not really sure if that was the play. It's gonna go for a Mug Thread onto Illy, but he doesn't look like he has a kidney shot available. Or if he tried to kidney, he might have kidneyed into the blur, which might have been dodged. And Devil just needs to pop himself defensive to maybe survive through his Dust of Cheat Death in case things go bad. So at least there's that. He's gonna try to see if he might be able to get behind boxes and get himself a refresh as Illidan. This is taking slow damage. Slow dot, rotten damage. Big old I-beam onto the Devil as he has no way out of that stun. Blind onto Illidan. He does drink it out of it. Devil goes in for advantage. Does he have Spectral Sight? He does have Spectral Sight. He sees the Rogue. And actually, Rogue walked by the eye. I'm not really sure why the Rogue would do that. Does throw a Mally onto Illy, but it's not going to last as Junip is going to be up next as a Monkus versus the Demon Hunter, trying to go for a big old touch of death. Does Illy have Shadow Melt? If he has Shadow Melt at the last second, he will be able to immune the touch of the damage. Does go for an Incap and a Junip. It looks like he's actually trying to avoid the damage from touch of death. I might actually be able to Shadow Melt some of it. I could be wrong on that one. Junip taking a lot of damage though in a little altercation, and Illidan going up in the air, not pelting Junip while Karma is up. Trying to hold on to it for a little bit as we hit in the 12% dampening. Still quite a lot of self-healing available for Junip as well as Illidan. Fist of Fury is going to hit the Demon Hunter. Not going to be able to respond to Junip. Junip's actually out of all defensive options at this point. And actually might be going down. Is this man with no gear? I think he just died to a dot. I think this man just had a heart attack. Oh my god. Well, there goes that one, boys. Illidan going in for it, or Illidanid. Illidanid. Illidanid? It sounds better in Russian, like more flows better. More natural. Illidanid. Instead, Illidanid. Oh. Surrounded by the big old boys here. It's a big man right here, Ground Claw. Alright, boys, let's get another one going, yeah? My tag is, what is it? Van Roo. Did you add me? Van Roo. Did you add me? Oh, there we go. There we go. Popped you in there. You got a group, my man? Let me know. Throw me a message. Let me know if you got a group or not. You want to tell us to be amongst is so rare? I know, right? It's just the haste ratio isn't that good. You know what I mean? Like, they have a haste ratio, which you would think would be good, but it's haste isn't a good stat for monks. I mean, I think there's other, like, minor ratios are pretty good, like the self-survivability, with the health regen, and maybe the sitting in slows a lot less, or roots. But you already have Tiger's Loss as a monk, and you already have rolls, so you kind of ignore slows in a way. So, it will really be up to, like, personal preference. I think maybe if you are a healer monk, I think you could then utilize the troll racial to get yourself a big haste setup. But yeah, Van Roo, team ready, Krager ready, back ready, Botch ready as well, Ornosh ready. Can we play one more? Yeah, I'll get you guys in rotation again. Do we get Krager or Van Roo? Or Back versus Kragar? I kind of want to do this. I want to do Ornosh versus Van Roo and Back versus Kragar. Let's get Van Roo in here since he's new. Yeah, I might have some new people. Tour match. Here we go. And Ornosh. Man in time. What's up, boy top? How you doing, my man? Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Hope you're having a good one, my man. But is it morning dial for me? It's actually 6 p.m. For EU, it might be morning in the AMs. But for me, it's 6 p.m. man. It's evening. I got dinner later. Hey, dude. I really like Survival and Moonwalker Monk. Which one is better overall for PvP, duels, BGs, arena? I think it's really up to you. A personal choice. Both of them can be good, depending on how much you're willing to gear. But yeah, it's really up to you, my man. Really up to you. Which playstyle you enjoy most? I think that's what you should go with. Just choose the playstyle which you like and then focus on that one character. Just to make sure he's the most geared, has the top tier corruptions, driving the hottest cars, hanging out with the hottest dudes. You know what I mean? Alrighty, boys, let's get another one going here, yeah? Switch. Get some water, man. Oh, I'm parched. Oh, okay. We got ourselves Jetty U. We got ourselves Rokora. We got a Ronin and Sick Heal. As two Shadowbreeze on the team, and Sushi Roll going to be going up first. Where's the team Red? We got us this M6, we got us this Lol Ornotch Face, and Jan Dolph are going to be going up first as a Destruction Warlock. I think a Worgen? I think Jen is a Worgen, maybe not. Looks like he's trying to do the Moonwalk, maybe? Just backing up around the arena. Waiting for Sushi, I think. Looks like Sushi is going to try to come out. Oh yeah, Jen is a Worgen. How does it look on Worgen? It doesn't look the worst. Doesn't look the worst. Yeah. Sushi actually going to back up completely as soon as he sees the Dark Soul stability coming out for Jen. Very interesting play. Sushi is going to take this one super seriously and super carefully. I mean, why shouldn't he, right? Is Jen actually just going to sit out in the open? I mean, I guess chasing a monk, like, I don't know if you have that much advantage in chasing monks, do you? Yeah, I can kind of understand that. This is like, oh, this is going to be a monk, right? They're going to be the most mobile class in the game. Trying to land a Shadow Fury into the monk does not get you. The Casbolt should be able to go for free. That's going to be a leg sweep into a touch of death. And Sushi trying to min-max the damage here. Jen is going to go for a gateway. Sushi trying to see if he can roll around him. While coming in for Jen to reduce some of the damage and get the cast off through. I think those Casbolts are going to go through. And Sushi get hit with an incap. That's not even a full Infernal coming down for Jen. Unless he already Infernal the opener. And then the Infernal just didn't follow Sushi. Sushi actually get interrupted. Jen might be able to get mobility. Here comes an Infernal, boy. Karma right now for Sushi. Jen could just blast the Karma if he wants to. Sushi gonna try to get some healing through that Karma. Trying to land a Shadow Fury onto Sushi. Does get it. This double Infernal is up. That looks like a random proc Infernal into a Fear onto Sushi. Trinkets out of it. Rolls on top of Jen. At least one of those Infernals is real. And Jen is going to get an immolate in. No, looks like both those Infernals were procs. Going to be Sushi popping and diffuse magic, trying to reduce the damage with Chaos Bolts, and actually does do it. So Jen is just taking a beating from Sushi, but looks like he barely notices it, barely pays attention to the fist flying in his face. And Sushi popping in the wall, trying to see if he might be able to finish off Jen. And that's going to be finally real Infernal with that full-blown stun, trying to get a Chaos Bolt. Oh! Unlucky port! But he does get out of this scot-free. He had all those rolls available. Had so many rolls available just to get away from Jen. Oh my goodness, Jen, you gotta go the other direction. You gotta get him to attack your Infernal. Because Infernal's actually doing quite a bit of sustained damage. And if you're running the same direction as your pets, yeah, you might just have to, like, herd him towards your pets. You might just have to. Sushi looking like he's actually feeling pretty confident. No defenses available. Does land the incap on the Jen. The Infernal is going to be sated and going to be out of the way. Caswell flies into his face. Not going to be able to stop that one. And Sushi, and thing goes down. Jen came in. Just like, I don't even care about monks, dude. I'm just going to throw a Chaos Bolt at him. All you had to do is just cast like a shadow or a fire. Kick. Chaos Bolt. Just punishing that guy. Roku's going to be up next, dropping down a meteor onto Jen's head. Is going to be a Mortal Coil to follow up with a Shadow Fury into Kizbolt. Actually going to be triggered for Roku. Goes for a Temporal, trying to avoid this Kizbolt as best as possible. And Jen going to land that interrupt and get some damage onto Roku. Should be hiding behind Lana's side. And Jen is going to be spawning random Infernals on top of Roku as well. Dropping down that Ring of Frost, so that's going to be good for him. And Jen actually goes for a Gateway, even taking the Gateway. I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. Are they trying to sit? Eat food, maybe? Or maybe it's like a dog trying to scratch his ass on the floor? I'm not quite sure, but Jen, you might want to get yourself a Warlock Hellstone if you have the Jen. I think he's asking Mate for food. I think he's asking Ornage for food if possible. And Rokura, trying to see if he might be able to get a Blinks around the corner. Jen doesn't really have a lot of help. Mortal Coil does help him recover quite a bit. It looks like there's going to be fresh food up and ready for Jen, who's looking like they're going to go to the other side of the pillow altogether. Just going for a big old run. Realizes Rokura is just casting him from a distance. It's going to hit him with a root, though. Now it's just two caster boys popping fire damage to one another. Jen better be very careful. Needs to get the interrupts onto Rokura. There's going to be huge setups. There's going to be a breath, dropping down Infernal, interrupting that Ring of Frost, but that's going to be Rokura available to scourge down Jen. It's going to be real Infernal down with a Temple to follow wall for Jen. Rokura might have to Ice Block. Actually, Ice Block before the Cauterize. If only he had a Cauterize trip, then he might have been able to get a lot of health out of that one. Jen is just trying to land an Immolate onto Rokura. Combustion coming down, does hit him with a stun. Chaos Bolt is going to do so much damage into Mortal Coil. Rokura actually down for the, almost down for the count. He leaves. Wait, no. It looked like he left. I think it was just done. And then he was like, wait, Cauterize. Wait, Cauterize. It looked like he left for a second. I mean, maybe there was small DC. Jen is going to push Jenna's Rokura is super low in health. He's just going to kick him while he's down. This is one more conflict rate and down he goes. And there goes Rokura. Jen is just walking up just like, well, I guess I'll just Chaos Bolt him. Just looks so casual while doing it. That's going to be Jen getting interrupted on his Chaos Bolt. And that's going to be Jen interrupted on their own Chaos Bolt. Might need to find some line inside. Banish coming in onto the interrupt pad. Jen trying to see if he can get a stun on Jen. Does land it. Trying to go for a Cataclysm around the corner. I like how casual Jen is making this look, dude. Just standing there like, hey, okay. Mortal Coil coming out onto Jen as well as the pet. Jen does get to walk away with a Mortal Coil away from Jetsu, though. This is going to be Reflect available. Reflect and cancel back into himself and down the go. Jetsu taking him out. Jen was just Jen was not playing Reflect, but Jetsu was, and he just popped that Reflect at the right moment. Did Jetsu just pop a Chaos Bolt into M6 and it did not reflect them? Is that what happened? M6, I don't think your reflect worked on Casbolt. Gonna be Wall Vegeta is just stumping Casbolts into M6. The Warlocks are just making this look too easy. Gonna be Warlock Hellstone right now for the Destrum. As M6 trying to see if he can fight through the Warlock offensive power. There's going to be Enraged Regeneration trying to pop a Reflect on Fear, on the Jet to into an Interrupt onto a Fear. That's going to be Freebie Casbolt though. Stormbolt to follow as M6 trying to lock him down even by a little bit. Mortal Coil following that. And M6 needs to get himself a charge. There's going to be a stun from a distance with Fear to follow. Does he have Zerker Rage for it? He does. Leap as well as charge. Probably not a good combo to waste both of those abilities all at once. But he went for a leap as well as a charge. I'm trying to see if he can just run circles around Jetto. Maybe confuse him. Maybe make him disoriented a little bit. As his Casbolts are going to come out, it's going to be reflected Casbolt back at Jetto. And actually, I think M6 might have him here with an Execute. Taking the Warlocks out of the game that quickly. And Ronin is going to be up next as a Shadow Priest versus a Fury Warrior. That's going to be a hell of a game, Ronin. Hell of a game. Playing a Blood Elf. Not a lot you can really rip from M6 in terms of resources. But you can get a Sanity back. So you can get your bar filled up using Blood Elf Racial. So at least you might as well want to start using it as early as possible so he has the resource for it. Trying to see if he can mount up and catch M6. The dots are really not doing that much damage for the Shadow Priest. They're doing very little. But I think a lot of the damage is going to end up being just him getting those executes available. Getting the Mindbender on him. Getting the Mind Blast procs. And Void Bolts. As many Void Bolts as you humanly can when you have them as instas. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Also, to wonder what Ronin is going to be playing for his essences. But M6 not really feeling like he wants to fight it until he has the right angle. Stormbolt onto Ronin is going to go for Greater Fade. Trying to get some damage onto M6 is going to get interrupted. Into a Crucible of Flame onto M6. Very interesting choice. Trying to get a VT up and running onto the Warrior. Does land it into a Shadow Ward Void. Double Void almost makes it through onto M6. Doesn't quite do it. Trying to go for yet another Void. Big dressing out trick and damage onto Ronin. How much to go for his, what is it called? God, Vampiric Embrace. That's what it is. VE. Stormbolt onto Ronin. Trickets out of the Stormbolt. Trying not to press Disperse just yet. Trying to do as much damage as he can without having to press Disperse. If he gets kicked on Shadow, he'll be in a really bad spot. Fear onto M6. Zerker rages out of it. Ronin might have to Disperse here. Might have to go now before dampening to really puts you in a bad spot. Disperse does give him a little bit of a heal and a damage reduction, but only 60%, so you can still blast through it. It's going to be Reflect for M6 for a second. M6 still holding on to Enraged Regeneration. He's not in a bad spot whatsoever. Ronin needs to line up some CC onto M6 if he wants to have a chance. It's going to be a Vampiric Embrace Eruption, but that's going to be a Stormbolt to follow. And Sick Heal trying to catch M6 out in the open with a stun. It's going to hit him with a Siphon. Trying to just get more slows into M6 with a Mind Flay, but he actually goes for a Gnome Racial to take off the slows. That's going to be Enraged Regeneration available for M6. This is where Greater Fade should have came out for a Sick Heal. Going to be Void, actually what is it? Void Eruption reflecting back to a Sick Heal, which is very unfortunate, but M6 is kind of lowish on health. No more defense available. Stormbolt onto Sick. He does go for a reflect, for a Trinket. M6 might have a reflect available here. Sick Heal still has all the defenses. And that's going to be Short Fear onto the Priest for a second. As M6 tries to see if he might be able to survive. Void Eruption coming out at the end with Sick Heal. Taking him out. Lol is going to be, I think, up next. Also got Ornage and Phased. And it looks like Lol is going to let Sick Heal catch a bit of a reheal. Yeah, if he can go for a full food min, he might be in a... maybe an auto duel position, but I don't know if he'll be able to really... I mean, it's a Shadow Priest versus Demonology... I was about to say Demonology Warlock. Again, I'm getting my class names all wrong. Demon Hunter. Nice bow for LOL. Maybe a nice bow for Sick Heal. It is a nice bow. And LOL even going to give him that opportunity to get a good positional. Honestly, LOL, being a Demon Hunter... I was going to say you should let him at least put up dots on you, and as soon as dots are up, charge right in. Do your thing. But, you know what? Going behind the pillar, I think, gives you just about the same setup. Same setup. But Sick Heal is waiting on time. It's going to be dampening, actually, 10 minutes in. We are at 34% dampening. It's going to be pretty bad for Sick Heal. It's going to be pretty bad for LOL too, but for Sick Heal it's going to be worse, I think. That's going to be stun into LOL from far distance. Siphon getting eliminated with the with Reaping Flames. Does that give LOL extra damage because of the Siphon kill? Sick Heal goes in for a Greater Fade off of the bite, trying to reduce as much damage as he can. LOL is going to be right on top of him with a Fear to follow. Trickets out of the Fear. Sick Heal, what's he going to do right now? Popping a shield, playing defensive, trying to go for as many instant casts as possible. I think he's trying to rip dots and buffs off of Lowell. Goes for a Void Eruption, actually. And Lowell's going to back up from that Void Eruption. He's actually not going to mess with him. Actually trying to go for some food. Trying to force Sick Hill behind the pillar. I'm actually surprised Lowell committed that much defensiveness against a Void Eruption. Because usually it's just not the hardest hitting ability ever. It looks like Lowell's actually taking a lot of stars damage from Sick. Those stars are crashing down on him from time to time. Stun into Lowell. VT could maybe go for Mind Control. Goes for Mind Bless instead. Sick Hill still holding on to his heals. That's going to be a Siphon on the other side, which Lowell had to go back and eliminate. That's going to be even more stars flying onto Lowell. Sick Hill going for Disperse. That's super low health. Dampening not really going to give him that much self-healing available. It looks like Lowell's going to back out of there for a second. Just goes behind the pillar for a moment. Imprison onto Sick. He trick gets out of it. Has Greater Fade. Vampiric Embrace is available. Greater Fade might need to come out here. Trying to maintain shields on himself as best as possible. Lowell. Does he go for a Shadow Melt for a second? That's going to be Siphon on him. Stun onto Sick and down he goes. Oh my goodness. It actually looked like the Shadow Priest Sick Hill might have been able to come back there, but being Priest and all, what can you do? That's a good duel though, boys. That was a double Destro. Dude, Destro's a make, dude, swear to God. Destro Warlocks, some of you guys make it look way too easy. As a rogue, as Out in particular, I have to give him a perfect buff, perfect CC chain, maybe even lucky with a bit of crits. And watching a Warlock just be like, oh, haha, fear, kicked it, Chaos Bolt to the face. It's just like, oh, hate it. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Got a group ready? Baruski boys hungry for some vodka? Alright, man, sounds good. We'll go Atho versus Vodka, but we gotta get Kragar versus Bak first. Because we've been waiting for a while. Kragar and Bak. Here we go. We got Russians versus Russians, man. Yeah, I'm gonna butcher your guys' name so hard, but it's okay, yeah? Hope it's okay. Make a video about my Fury Warrior, please. I will try, man. I'll look into him. Okay? I'll look into that stuff. I usually record the videos, do 5v5 1v1 duels, and then I go back and watch them after, like, letting them sit there for a second, right? And then I'll look back to them, and I'm like, that was a fun one to watch. I'll upload it. Or if I watch them, I'm like, man, that was fun in the moment, but now I'm not feeling it. And then I usually don't. Or someone will watch it and be like, man, I remember watching it on stream live, and I was just not super into it. But watching it back now, if I just edit this part and this part, it can actually be good. You know what I mean? Like, if I edit this boring part and that part, it's actually a dope-ass video. It's a process, so I'll take a look at it at a later time, man. I always do. Switch. Oh, man, so many Russians. Is this an A or EU? It's EU. 2 more is an A. Gonna join a group or is it solo? If you have a group, I can add you, man. Hence, Papa. Switch. What do we got? We got ourselves Baczynski gonna be up on team red. We got ourselves Love Kate. We got ourselves Verdan. We'll call him Verdan. Close enough, right? As an arms warrior, we got ourselves Not and we got ourselves Osley. Versus team Arastel, we got ourselves Kragar. Gonna be going up first versus a Kitty Cat, Nomova, Tral, as well as Chulan. That's a lot of Russian names here, boys. That's about as good as I can do. I messed him up. I know I did. But that's as good as I can do in the moment. And Kragar trying to play a little bit defensively against the Feral. Taking a bit of damage in the opener here. Only 34 seconds in. Trying to get the slows to the Feral. That's going to be replaced out of Olive Kate. Not going to get the short CD on that ability at all. Maim onto Kragar. Doesn't go for a trinket at all. It's just going to take so much bleeds. I think Kate is going to go for a bleeding him out, man. He's going to bleed him out dry. Kragar having to go for a mount up. Might be able to run up next to Kate and maybe whirlwind him out. Pick up a few heals. It's going to be a little bit tough. Kate getting reopener onto Kragar. He doesn't sit that long at all. Is going to get a Stormbolt onto Kate. Having to go for self-heals. The Safeguard Trigger comes in. Does go for Warlock Houser from Mova as well. Good to put everything on cooldown. And with the Feral going for resets, I think he's going to get a reset on cooldown as well. And listen, Kate is going to go for the long... Ow! Whoa! Whirlwind coming out for Kragar. I was going to say, long Agate is in play, but that's going to be Kragar getting the Bladestorm in as catching Crate out in the open. Thorns are up. Does Kragar have a Reflect? It doesn't look like he does, so he wants to actually avoid hitting into Thorns as best as he can. Does get a short charge onto Kate. Is going to give him a Bloodthirst heal available. into a Stormbolt to follow. Does Cracker have the biggest damage here if he has a huge setup? Might be able to finally make something work here. Finally, his moment to go on the offensive. That's going to be wall veil for Kate with a short restone to Cracker. Just to follow. As Cracker wants to charge right back at Kate. He's not going to be able to. The roots are going to stop him and doesn't get the angle on the Feral at all. Does himself Crucible. Is going to whirlwind Kate out in the open. Not letting the cat catch re-stealth at all. Or catch a reopener. Is going to get a charge back at Kate. Stormbolt to follow right after. Trying to get some damage in there. But he's really not getting the most damage onto the Feral. So far, it just feels like his damage just takes too much to ramp up. You know what I mean? Maybe at one point he'll be able to. If he had a Reflect available for Thorns, that would be really, really strong for him. But he doesn't. It's unfortunate. As we hit in the 2-minute mark, Cracker is still on the run from the Feral, dude. Oh my goodness, the Thorns are just so deadly for him into a maim. So there are times where he cannot hit Feral, and the times where he's CC'd by the Feral. Is there any other time besides that? Try to see if he can Blaze Storm around the corner, charge onto Kate. Does pick up a little bit of a heal at least. So Cracker at least has the survivability of a Fury Word to maybe keep him afloat for a little bit longer here. Is going to have to go for a bit of a Crucible self-heal to follow right after. Kate. Dipping down in health, actually. Looks like Cracker is able to finally break through the powerful bear hide that Kate probably got with the Guardian Affinity. Cracker having to go for Warlock health on is super low. Bled up, and Kate having to go for a regrowth as well. Cracker trying to see if he might be able to catch the Feral. Does not catch him in stealth. Does whirlwind him out though, so it's going to be denial of the rake. Damage does get a trinket out of Kate with a Stormbolt, even though Kate went for a root. I don't know if he needed to trinket that one, but that's still value. Cracker is still taking so much dot damage. Just dot and rot right now from Kate. That's probably going to be Thorns for Kate into a maim right after. So Cracker's just like, okay, I'm either having to run away from a Feral that has all Thorns, or I'm having to get hit by a Feral that's got me stunned. Unless it's a situation where both happen, as Cracker got himself in Rage Regeneration, but looks like Kate is going to book it out of there immediately. Leaving Cracker with not a lot of abilities he can really use. Does go for a whirlwind in order to get Kate out in the open. Stormbolt to follow. Does go for a self-heal. Trying to maintain himself as best as possible, even though this matchup is probably one of the worst for him, especially with the playstyle that Kate is playing. It is going to try to see if he can power shift and start walking her from Cracker immediately. Cracker keeping the slow on Kate as best as possible and doing quite a good job. Reckless is coming out finally. Might be able to get some good damage in. Is going to trinket out of that bash. It's going to be root to follow. No way out of that root. And Cracker is going to be put back on the bleeds inside of a root yet again. Maybe Warlock House will only be back for him very, very soon here, boys. Maybe. And now, not gonna happen. Kate is gonna end up taking him out. Big old dressed. And I think dress might even crit there, dude. All he needed is just a big old dress set up with Cracker, and down he goes. Played it as well as he could, man, but unless he ran Reflect just for the Feral to reflect the Thorns, there's nothing I think he could do. The way Kate is playing, he's playing it super aggressive. He's either got Thorns, so Cracker has to run away, then he'll maim him and shred him down, and then he'll catch a reset, let the bleeds do majority of the work. Eventually, Cracker is going to be out of CDs. Numov is going to be up next with a bash by the Feral. Is going to be dropping down Feral. Looks like he actually dipped away from the pillar. Going to put him out in the open. That's going to be freebie cancels right after onto Kate. Does have a wall for the last one. Is going to go for as much self-healing as humanly possible. Actually, maybe they're not even in Guardian Infinity. I think actually Kate might be in Rest Infinity now. I'm looking at it. They do poke out to get himself a regrowth or rejuves, maybe even Swiftmend. So maybe they changed up the playstyle to what they were trying to do before. Mova got himself full Dark Soul stability ready. Watch it as the Feral is not going to head out behind the pillar, man. No Mova is just either going to have to push up, or he's going to have to find a better angle into I Love Kate. Looks like he's going to hit him on the conflag, try to hit him with an Immolate. Kate is going to power shift out of there. Kate is actually out of all the cooldowns for a bit. Trinket available, so if you might be able to get a trinket out of like a Mortal Coil or a Fear or a Stun, he might be able to immune or get rid of one of the CC. That's about all he's got. Wait, what? Osley? Yo, Osley! My man, can you take off those Paladin buffs, pull them on yourself? Thank you, buddy. Pally buffs, keep them to yourself, my man. That's one of the rules. Yo, Wachinski, can you get Osley to get buffs on himself off of the Feral? Appreciate you, fam. What the hell is that, Osley? What the hell is that, huh? Who does that, dude? I'm waiting. Osley. I'm waiting, my man. Want to take this buffs off the Feral, my dude? Baczynski, you're the group lead. You want to do that at all? Maybe. I mean, we're not missing anything. It's just Mova and Love Kate running around circles. Kate trying to avoid the Destro Warlock as best as he can. Mova not pushing in. Now would be the time to do it, my dude. Waiting, boys. It's one of the rules, boys, is Paladins keep your buffs to yourselves because we can't really balance those properly. So it's better for Paladins to keep the buffs on themselves. I'm waiting for him to take the buffs off himself. Oh, Baczynski to let him know too. But Baczynski ain't saying nothing. You gonna take the buffs off? Or not? Baczynski, wanna let him know? Waiting. What a lot. I'm waiting for Osley to take off the pally buffs off of the Feral. Because he walked up and put the pally buffs. And one of the rules is not to put pally buffs on the Feral. Or Paladins keep your buffs to yourselves. That's one of the rules for 5v1s. Because look, I mean, Love Kate is just running around. It's been literally 2 minutes since I asked him. And Love Kate, I mean, he's just going to run circles around Mova. He's going to play super defensive. But that's going to give him, like, he's like, nah. Feral Druid Lyric buffs. No. I want to see Aussie put it on himself. Just to make sure I know that they're not on him. Little Brides, Paladins, Azeroth. We got a lot of those in the duels. Usually whenever there's a Paladin that just runs in randomly into a duel and just starts doing fuck whatever. Just like randomly attacking while another guy is dueling a guy. It's usually a Paladin. It's usually never another class. Maybe the Demon Hunters would be it. This sure gives me re. I mean, I'm just waiting. If he's gonna do it or not. Because I mean, Kate is just surviving and it's just boring to watch, honestly. Let's be honest. You're just watching a Feral and Destro Warlock go back and forth and nobody is dying. And it's just super fucking boring to watch, boys. Let's be honest here. How many of you guys are missing some Octane action or a Feral going behind the pillar healing and a Warlock standing there chucking cannons at the guy? You guys are not missing a lot, man. Dalaran. Feral pillar humping 10 on 1. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next group, boys. Have a group? Alrighty. We're gonna move on to the next one. I got bored with that one. I'm sorry. I literally got bored. Literally got bored. I'm asking Baczynski if it was AFK or not. There's a good chance maybe his internet isn't that great, so he like closed down the stream or not. Yes, I were. What happened? I asked you to ask Pala to take Pala buffs off of Feral. We bow out of the game, it's okay. Athaman is still ready. Is Prince there? Full group ready. We'll try Athaman versus Prince, man. Maybe we can watch something more exciting. Prince, Vodka, and Athaman 5. I think Prince might not be there. So we might end up doing Athaman maybe versus Pelor. Not to, sorry I said Pala not to buff someone. Yeah, it's okay. I bailed. Prox in a 5v5 group? Yo, can we get Prox in here versus Atha? Let's do that, dude. I don't know if Prince Waka is there, but we'll get Atha versus MML. I think that'd be kind of fun. You guys weren't missing anything anyway. It's just a Feral running around behind the pillar, healing, while every time he's out in the open, a Warlock keeps chucking chaos bolts out of him. Trust me, you guys weren't missing a thing. What? Now it worked. Yeah, I don't know why invite spectator matchmaker wasn't working at all. New corruption's up. Should be in a few hours, actually. Maybe. Druids is easy. No. That Druid is good. We watched him play already, right? We watched the Druid playing, but it's just that Druid is already pretty survivable. We've seen him play. He plays like very aggressive, which I like to watch, but it's also a Druid, right? You can only enjoy it so much. But it's literally a Druid and a Destro Warlock. And the Druid has a Paladin buff to make him even tankier. So then the Warlock versus Druid gameplay, it's just going to be like a survivability match. That's all it is. And it's just, we have a set of rules, boys. The rules are there to make the rules a bit more fun. I don't know if any of you guys will be excited to just watch a Druid and a Destro Warlock fight each other for 12 minutes. You know what I mean? It is boring. So we bailed. I don't do that often, but I like my rules, man. We have rules, so it's more fun. But if somebody's gonna follow them, then I'm not gonna watch. Switch. You know what I mean? You guys weren't missing anything anyway. Athaman on Team Red, we got ourselves Angrisa Cost, we got ourselves Rum, and we got ourselves Yatshot. God, some of you guys' names of Russians. Oh, and Athaman sporting the big old bony build versus Larissa. Gonna be going up first on Team Blue. On Team Blue, we also have Prox, Pick a Pillow, Pricey, and the Devil himself. Larissa gonna be first up versus yeah boy Atha. So many Russians in your team, Atha. What kind of build is Atha gonna be rolling here? Dressing Atha coming out, I think, by Larissa actually. And Atha looked like he barely took a hit from that with AMS, as well as Remorseless Winter up for Larissa. Is going to try to see if he can get himself a big old setup. What is that weapon by Atha? It looks like the smallest sword I've ever seen. It's like a short sword. It's like a sword for gnomes. It's going to be blind onto Atha. And the adaptation does get forced out of it. Larissa looking like he wants to get behind the pillar. That's an interesting blind play. So he doesn't have Stormbolt or nothing. Going to get a bike onto Atha. It took a hit from a bike. It looked like he barely, felt it whatsoever. His health just hasn't moved at all. Barely anything whatsoever. Larissa dropping in death pack. But looks like they're actually down for the count completely. Barely trying to survive against Atha himself. Feels like it hasn't moved whatsoever. Hasn't even went for a stun until Larissa. This is again the end game finisher onto the DK and he'll have it. And down he goes. Atha. Barely taking damage from that one. Pick a Pillar gonna be up next as a Boomy and Atha. Gonna go bullying some pharaohs. Seriously, what is that sword? It's like two things of bone with a thing wrapped between them and like a crystal in between. It's like the shortest sword I've ever seen. I mean, it feels the whole bone aesthetic that you got going on for like the whole Mog. But it's the shortest sword I've ever seen. It's like a short sword for two-hander. Weird. Brasnik is 0 damage. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. Disarm coming in onto Atho. Actually choosing between Twisted Appendage and the Boomy. Actually had to back up. Given Pick a Pillow. Plenty of distance down the middle between him and the Boomy. Barkskin coming down as the Hodge comes in. Atho popping and winks. Trying to get some damage into Pick a Pillow. Does this man have a lot of versatility? Pickup better have a lot of versatility to survive this. Actually getting a huge heal with full frenzied regen. That's going to be bashed instant triggered by Atho. Because of adaptation, not a lot that Atha can really do about it. Adaptation is going to kind of get him out of CC often. For Athaman, though, it's going to be good as an adaptation, except for Pricey, who doesn't have a lot of long-term CC, except maybe like a Fear. And Devil. Devil is not going to be that good for him, because Devil could just sab the adaptation off. Disarm onto Atha is Pika trying to get some reverse damage back in. Does he have Thorns back up? He's trying to get as many instant casts as possible. Going to be tricky with Warstorm onto Atha as he got some wings up and running. Does he have any roots on the Atha? If he has any roots or slows, that could be perfect. I don't think Boomy's actually have any slows except for Thorns. That's going to be Incarnation for Pika. Having to pop back into bear form. Trying to recover health as much as possible. Recovered as much as it could with Thorns back up and running to give Atha a bit of a slow. Trying to go for a Tangle Roost. Does Atha have the Judgment from downtown? No, but it's going to be Crucible instead. Just a Crucible of Flame from literally downtown. And Price is going to be up next versus Atho. Atho, you're going to have to tell me what kind of build you're going here for here, boy. You're going to have to tell me just how much damn, what kind of a setup you got going on after this one, because I have an idea. It's going to be tricky for Pricey off of that Hodge. Is just trying to go for a bit of damage. It's going to be Infernal coming down. Quick cast of Chaos Bolts are flying, and that's going to be Mortal Cold to keep Atha in the open. Shadow Fury not going to be able to get him with adaptation. Cataclysm into another Chaos Bolt. Trying to summon a Succubus as Shield of Vengeance is up for Atha. Barely taking damage with a Shield of Vengeance. But then again, the Chaos Bolts are mostly through. That's a lot of Chaos Bolts. How beefed up are your Chaos Bolts now? Those were beefed up Chaos Bolts. Those were beefed up Chaos Bolts. Those is what you would call a Chaos Bolt that's empowered with the Inferno. Unless he doesn't play empowered Chaos Bolts. Does he not play empowered Chaos Bolts? Does Pricey play for more of the conflag dot damage? The rolling Havoc, I think it is? No, it's not Rolling Havoc, it's something else. But it's Roaring Blaze, I think. Where conflag has a bit of a damage over time. Maybe that's what he's running for. Maybe he's not going for the big, like, Infernal Chaos Bolts, but that'll be weird. Fear onto Atha doesn't have adaptation to break him out. I don't even know what broke him out on adaptation in the first place, but that's going to be a back-to-back CC with a Chaos Bolt onto Atha. Again, looks like his health barely moves at all. Is going to go for a big old Wake of Ashes. Has a lot of resources. Prices, I think, have nothing left. Try to go for a wall and get whatever cast it can to get away from Atha. Mortal Coil should be available soon, hopefully. Is going to hit him with a Feared Super DR, but it's going to be Chaos Bolt. Atha's health actually took a chunk in just for a second. Does he have the Succubus Seed to stop him? Does him out with a Tempest Verdict at the end. And the Devil himself is going to be next. Oh, opening up with a cheap shot. Not even a sap, as Atha does get to hit him AoE out. It's going to be getting a shot off of that cheap shot to follow. It's going to be per GR. Slow into Devil. He's going to try to shot us up around Atha, but he got himself minute-long wings available. Try to blast as much damage as he can into evasion. I think he's actually getting procs from that evasion, though. I think he actually is getting good procs out of it, if he's playing the right build I'm thinking of. If he's playing the Judgment build. This Paladin is a tank, dude. I think so. Blind into Atha. Adaptation coming in at the right time. Devil was not planning on it. That adaptation was not planned on, and Atha just taking advantage of the damage, all the CC breaker capability that adaptation gives him. Blind adaptation allows Atha to punish the rogue and go as ham as possible. So the Devil might be able to get himself a little bit of a recoup here. As dampening finally rolls in at the 5-minute 50-second mark, boys. From here on, dampening is just going to make it harder and harder for everybody to play. And Devil's just going to get some dots with a slow into Atha. I'll try to see if you can count him around for a moment. That's exactly what he needs. Atha picking up eyes. Might be able to see the Rogue. Rogue steps onto Atha with a cheap shot. And it's looking to get the hell out of it. Does have a sprint available as the Hand of Hindrance comes in. And it looks like he's actually immune to that Hand of Hindrance completely. Yeah, it looks like he immuned it completely. Just immuned it. Go road onto Atha. Does he have a kidney shot available? Cheap shot. It's going to be Super DR. Hodge on the Devil. Has a trinket if he needs to. Should probably trick it out of it. Does trick it out of it. But I think Atha is still going to have him here. Did he use a Mally onto Atha? I think he might have threw a Mally on him at the very, very last second. It looks like Prox is going to be the last one left on Team Blue. He's going to be in stealth with Atha. He's going to have to play this very, very carefully. So far, Atha have taken 0 damage. Big dress with a big old bite coming out by Atha. He's going to get himself quite a bit of heals from the Crucible into a Skull Bash. Atha able to still heal himself with a second stack of Crucible. Try to go for flashlights. Just try to play as defensive as he can. As Prox popped himself a wall. Atha isn't even looking at attacking Prox whatsoever. He's just a pop wall. Okay, I'll just heal myself. Flash a light. Hands up in the air. Does the light from above just going to bless me? Wings are up as the Hodge comes down onto Prox. Prox not super scared of it. Not shrinking. As very big damage coming out for Atha, though. Prox might have to pop a second wall already. It does go for a big heal himself at the last moment. Hasn't popped a wall yet. Still holding on to Trinket as we hit on the 7-minute mark. And Atha trying to see if he might be able to catch him, but that's going to be resold by the Feral. Athaman adaptation procking out immediately. Prox popping in the tank Trinket from Nealotha. Not the biggest absorb ever, but he does a good job as it's 80% damage reduction while the shield is up. So the shield gives you a small shield. It has been nerfed by Blizzard. But still, people use it even right now in AWC in particular, especially while dampening isn't super high, to give himself a small absorb. So basically, it's like what, 20, 30k, 40k absorb shield with 80% damage reduction while the shield is up. So it's quite interesting of a trinket. I think they might need to nerf it even further if they want to take it out of PvP completely. But I don't really see a lot of people using it. Hodge onto Prox to follow, got a trinket out of it, got himself a bit of a heal. That's going to be Atha trying to get himself flashlights whenever possible. I guess as soon as Prox gets a Skull Bash off it, might be able to get himself big heals available. But that's going to be a wall for Prox. It's going to have a lot of mastery damage off this if it runs the right traits to the Feral. With Thorns to follow, as Atha's getting quite a bit of clap and damage into the Feral. Is going to get himself a flash of heal in between of it. Maim to follow. Big Dresser to Atha. Had to pop himself. Blessing of Protection as there was a lot of damage coming out of the Feral. That was a huge setup. Probably a massive bite. Biggest dress ever. And after he didn't bubble, he bopped it, which was interesting. So he wants to say bubble for later. Catches the Feral out from stealth. It's going to hit him with a Hodge. No wings available with this one. Trying to do as much damage as he can with the Temple's Verdict and Crucibles as well. That's going to be a tank trinket available for procs as Atha trying to see if it busts through it. Not the biggest shield as you can see, but it is quite a bit of damage reduction. As we also see dampening, I think that shield gets smaller. I think that shield shrinks with dampening. Procs has wall backup. If you could use this wall strategically to have a counter-offensive play, because a lot of druids run the Masterful Instincts, I think. It's a trait where if you pop your wall, after the wall is over, you get armor and mastery. It's a tank trait, but for Feral it works for the mastery big bite setup. So you would pop a defensive as a wall of Feral, and then you'll use the buff that it gives post-wall in order to go counter-offensive. So as Atha popped himself a Shield of Vengeance, there was procs with thorns and a wall. That's going to be him with actually lots of damage available. Procs is just shredding. Procs is getting shredded right through. Athaman is just punishing procs. Bash to follow. Doesn't actually trigger adaptation against the rake from earlier. Did the work. It's going to throw a judgment at procs. He's not going to be able to get himself out of combat just yet. Does Athaman have the mobility to catch up? He doesn't. Might be able to AoE procs out in the open though. He tried to AoE him out. Prox is playing this as super careful as he could. He doesn't have the mastery benefit from the wall anymore. So you won't really have the counter damage available. So you might have to wait until another set of walls so you can use it defensively and then counter Atha. Or maybe just bleed him up to full. Going for a big old bite dress that did quite a bit of damage. Atha going for self heals as we hit that 10-minute 30% dampening. Thorns are available for procs. I think he ought to use his kick. Atha been dropping quite low in health. Wasn't quite sure if he wanted to get flashlights into Prox's face. I think he might have not used the kick, and he was waiting and trying to juke out the kick, and Prox was just continuing to do damage, threw in Reaping Flames, threw in everything. Prox, no longer with a trinket, no more wall for 20 seconds. Atha has adaptation, no bubble, no bop, Shield of Vengeance is up. He might be able to make something out of this, but Prox is going to play on his own terms. He's not going to go in, I think, until that wall is available. So Athaman might have to pick up eyes, might have to randomly fan Prox out with a Wake of Ashes or Divine Storm. One of those two. Picked up eyes. He knows where the Feral is. He saw him for a second. Does get him out. That's going to be wall available for Proxy if he wants to. Thorns are up. He's going to wall the Shield of Vengeance up for Atha. It's going to be a big tank trinket available for Proxy. Just trying to reduce as much damage as it takes. That's going to be a Hodge for Atha. Wings are up and running. Does he do the big damage here? Trying to blast through Prox as best as he can. And that looked like double Tempo's verdict. And Prox is playing as defensive as possible. Could turn it around onto Atha. He has the big mastery buff. Dropping down to health. Might have to make a big play. Main comes out. It's going to be adaptation. Atha hits him with a crucible around the corner. Keeping him in combat. Putting a down on the guy. If he has the mobility to catch up to the fellow right now, this would be perfect. Prox is going to try to see if he can catch a reset. Maybe a rake. No, actually going to go very, very, very defensively. Just get away from Atha. While we're hitting the 12-minute mark. Close to a 40% dampener, boys. 49% versus. Is that what he's playing? 49% versus baseline. So, how much versatility does he have with all the procs available? Like, with Conflict and Strive fully up. That's going to be procs trying to see if he might be able to get big damage onto Atha. Does send him with a Hodge through those thorns. Doesn't want to go offensive. That's going to get us slow. That Hodge might have been a misplay a bit by Atha. He does get a bit of pressure, a bit of a breather from procs, but not going to be able to get a Hodge until later. But maybe he just needs to extend the game a little further. Bob coming up in about a minute. Shield of Vengeance is available. There's going to be a reopener by Prox. Has a trinket back up. No wall for a moment. Just gets himself a full set of bleeds onto Atha. Might be able to bleed him out and put pressure on him like that. Yeah, I want to see how much versatility Athaman has when he has Conflict and Strive fully procced all the way. Like all 8 stacks of Conflict and Strive. Or however many you get. It's probably running Lucid 2 for extra Versa from there as well, for all we know. I think he might be running versatility trinkets on top of it too. So I wonder, like, when he has the most amount of Versa, just how much does he have? Prox popping in tank trinket a little bit early with Thorns. Atha trying to see if he might be able to get a Skull Bash from him. Looks like he did get Skull Bash from Prox. It's going to be a maim. Stop him for a second. But Atha just continued to self-heal himself while Thorns were up, while Tank Shield was up. But that's going to be wall for Prox. Atha can at least build up some resources here. Hodge of the Prox is going to pop a trinket. Wings are up for Atha. Does he have a Hand of Freedom? Does he have a Hand of Freedom? At the last second to maybe catch up to Prox. Is going to pony up, try to see if he might be able to get next to the guy. Hand of Endurance to follow to get us slow, but Prox is going to bail out of there. Place your bets, boys. Who's going to win? Athaman with a massive amount of Versa, however much he's got. Or Prox. Place your bets, boys. Place your bets. Right now is the time to do it. Athaman looking to pick up the eye. Prox is going to get an opener. Does he have the mastery buff? If he has a big mastery buff, he might be able to make a big play. Dress comes out, but Athaman does block it with the Shield of Vengeance. He has Bubble back up. He has Bob back up. All he needs to do is just get a good old Hodge, full set of wings, lots of resources onto Prox, and he actually might just have it. Prox has about a minute to survive without a trinket. Wall not available in 50 seconds. Dress just got used, so it's not going to be available. So he's going to have a lot of things coming back in about a minute or so. A lot of things he can use all at once. And Atheman just needs to get the resources. Maim comes out. No adaptation for that Maim. I think it was only 4 comm points. It's going to be Hand of Freedom from this route. Try to see if he catches the Feral. The sprint is up. But he does not get to catch him. But Atheman might have the resources available here just to play with Prox. Trying to catch himself a reset. Not going to AoE it. Not going to use it. And Prox poking back out in the open. I think he's going to go for bleeds and root strat. Big old bite. Does pre-wall this with a tank trinket and thorns. Atheman did pop a Hodge into Prox. That's going to be a full bleed strat and just going to try to rot him down. If Atheman was a little careful with Hodge, I mean, I know it's like instinct, just like Hodge a Feral off of the stun on you. You want to do it, but if he just waited and saved it, and then Prox wouldn't have anything after. Prox has a wall this time, so he's feeling pretty confident. Going to rebleed Atha and pop a wall. If Atha has any response here, Prox should be good. He has a trinket coming up very, very soon, so Atha will not be able to really stun him. That's going to be a big old bash into Atha, big old bite with the dress, trying to punish Atha while the bleeds are still rolling on the guy. He does catch Prox out in the open, popping in a bear form. Needs to have himself a hand of a hindrance back up into Prox if possible at 63% dampening. Yeah, this game might go straight to dampening, boys. This game might be straight up dampener. Prox might need to change his name from Prox to a Dampener X, dude. MML Dampener X. Man, this is gonna be rough. Let's do still fighting, yeah. Hodge into Prox, trinkets out of it immediately. Thorns are up. Now they got himself Shield of Vengeance. Full 5 comm points available for Prox. Does break the Shield of Vengeance. Not the biggest pop ever. Maim onto Atha. He does adapt it at the last second though, which is weird. Because Maim, I guess, Maim doesn't force Conflict and Strife, but he's not like he's playing Conflict and Strife. It's weird sometimes that Maim, it's almost like the Maim doesn't count as CC sometimes. Maybe Prox tries to go for like a 4 comm point Maim sometimes, and it just doesn't trip adaptation ever. It's weird. It's going to be reopened up by Prox, back up onto Atha. Again, just going to bleed him up dry. 20 seconds left on that wall. If Atha could just somehow get next to Prox and just get him out of stealth, get some resources, he might be in a good spot. Skull Bash by Prox, looking to make the play while Holy Power not available for Atha. Is going to bubble this damage. Does he have a good setup onto Prox? Does get him with a Tempest Verdict. Does he get to catch up the guy at all? If he can just Hodge him right now. As Prox is super low. He might have him. That bubble came in handy. Doesn't get the Feral out. Bob's still available for Atha. Has to trick it back up with adaptation very, very soon. And Prox, I think, needs to go for a reset. 72% dampening. Not getting any health back at all. Eyes not available for either one. Dude, this is gonna be a game of the fucking lifetime at the end. You just stop bringing Feral dudes? Yeah, boys. Remember that that run right before this one against the Dash War like a Feral? Yeah, you guys would have been very excited to see that one, right? Oh my goodness. Ferals, dude, is just so tanky. I guess Paladins are too. Well, this Paladin is. It looks like it's going to be it. Atham with a big old 5-0 with Prox just fighting it out tooth and nail. Two great players doing whatever they can to survive. And yes, Ferals have so much survivability, but this Paladin right here was a match to him, man. It was actually a match. 11 million damage, 10 million healing. Oh my goodness, boys. Oh my goodness. What is your build, Atho? I need to know, dude. I need to know. How do I title this thing, dude? How do I title this? Alright, boys, let's get another one going, yeah? Let's get another one going, boys, yeah? How do you title that one? What do you call it? Atho, I need your help. Because you weren't taking damage ever. How much versatility did you have? So for last game back, don't worry about it, man. I kick this Feral. It's not the Feral, it's the Paladin, man. I don't care about the Feral. It's the Pala. And said no to my red ball. Can play one more? Maybe, maybe. 900 CR, OMG. Oh, the Feral or Atha? Let us play again. I will go last just because we want to play two. Alright, we can get Atha back in because a lot of his dudes didn't get to play. That's fair. We can get Atha versus back groups, I guess, yeah? Alex does have 3 new people, boys. What do you think? Should we give Batch another go? The Russian with the Pharaoh and the Paladin and all that? Or should Alex play? Chad gets to decide that one. Chad gets to decide. Because I like Batch. I like the group. But just it was kind of boring. And Paladin needed people buffs. And it's just like, oh. Now imagine how much longer Prox could have went. How much longer Prox could... I didn't actually care about the Feral. I didn't care about the Feral. I didn't like the Paladin giving people buffs. Yeah, the Feral I didn't really care about, but the Feral would have been a pretty boring game. I mean, Industrial was Feral. You kick Feral, guys. Again, I didn't have to kick the Feral. It's not the Feral I had the problem with. I didn't like the Paladin give people buffs. Because it's like a rule. Don't give people buffs. Give them to yourselves. Oh, we wouldn't give buffs? Okay, well, I mean, I saw him give buffs. He, like, walked up, did the hand, like, yeah, give him, like, 2 buffs, and then just, like, AFK'd after. So. Wait, the Warlock had buffs from Paladin? Did it really? Did Cracker have a Paladin in his team? He might have, actually. Yo, if the Warlock had buffs... Yeah, that game would have been a shit show, dude. I would have... If I... Because I only saw the Feral, but I wasn't watching the Warlock. But then again, I was just the angle. It was the angle where Feral was, where he was behind, like, a pillar. And then I saw a thing pop up where he said, and I was like... What was that? And then I swapped to the Paladin, and there's the Paladin just, like, throwing a buff to him. If the Warlock also had buffs, yeah, that would have led that too, dude. I would have led that too. That wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, I can understand if the Paladin's like, yo, that guy has a buff. Yeah, let me give you a buff to make it a fair duel. But if just one guy goes for buffs, I'm like, I don't care, dude. Lost interest. I'm curious too. Yeah, I'm actually looking through the footage to see if... Because I believe him. I believe you back. I believe you. I want to see if you can, like, see it in the footage, like a little meow, like a crown popping up over the Warlock. Let's play. It wouldn't happen again. So, boys, what are we doing? Back, I guess? Batch? Okay, we'll get Batch in here versus Atham. Would be really fun. Oh, man, I know it would be. But we'll get back in here again. Because Baczynski didn't get to play at all. Twitter match. Baczynski. I call it back, but it's because I spelled Athaman as Athamac. Like a Big Mac, but Athamac. That would be hard to join too? Nah, you don't have to. You guys just have to join one of the groups up and running on the region we're playing. Friday is EU, Saturday is NA. Join one of the 5V5 groups available in LFG custom group, PvP side, and participate. Or you can make your own group and add me on real at the NLQ against one of the groups that's up and running. Either way, boys. Either way works. Cool. Alrighty, all y'all Paladins, keep your buffs to yourselves. I don't care. Keep your buffs to yourselves. Actually, let's go over the rules once we get everybody here. Hope it's not a 2v2. Hope it's actually 5v5. Did I save that one? I don't know if I did. But everybody's loading in, taking a second. Because maybe there's a lag to the server. Ooh, is that the boy? Cost. That is the boy Cost. How many people would play a big old Draenei warrior? Baczynski? Are you just going to 2-man versus 5? Loading in. Little by little. They are loading in. So Twitch. Team Red is taking a second to load in. Team Blue, however, is all good. Take a look at Team Blue. We got ourselves Ath, we got ourselves Angrisa Cost. Gonna be going out first. We got Ram and we got ourselves Yasha versus Team Red with Baczynski. Gonna be going out first. We got ourselves Kai in the back. We got Luby, Naut, and Asa. Yo, these names are so bad. I know I messed up. But we're gonna give him a go. Baczynski already shredding through cause. The Twisted Appendage June Warring. Save go Trigger Procken for the Fury Warrior. How would you go for a commanding shout as he's trying to maybe get a commanding lead away from Baczynski, rip it out of his hands? Baczynski barely popped a single defensive, just being super offensive with Cost. Looking to get another kidney shot available. Probably going to be tricking on Cost as he gets hit with a bite. It's going to go for Enrage Regeneration, but Baczynski does take him out right after. Super unfortunate there, boys. Super unfortunate. Yasha is going to be up next, trying to see if he might be able to make a play. Where's Baczynski hitting him with Blades of Justice? Going to be more Twisted Appendages, man. This guy got old and Tandy's procking. Get a shot onto Yasha as the Tandy's attacking him. Yasha actually had to bail out of with the human racial. Oh my goodness, because otherwise the Tenti was just going to shred right through him. That is wings available for the Paladin as well, but Baczynski's going to bail out of there for just a second. So I'm going to try to see if he'll be able to get out of there for a moment, getting a sap into the Paladin. There's going to be a lot of cooldowns out of this man. Look at this beautiful bastard. Look at this beautiful guy. Look at you, man. Getting attacked by a rogue. How dare he? How dare the rogue sully your name, coat you in poisons, spike you with dressed. This is going to get the opener. Hodge onto Baczynski. Not popping the trigger for this one. As Yasha was a little bit trailed back with that. Ooh, big damage coming out of the Paladin though. Baczynski is in a bad spot. Does go for advantage. As the Paladin was actually getting so much pressure onto the guy. Baczynski must be playing quite a bit of versatility though outside of this, man. He was just fine, just eating the full damage of wings from a Paladin because he was like, you know what? I'll be okay. I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine. Another sap coming out, but Baczynski's gonna have to go for a good old rogue play, dude. I would really like to see this man go super hyper aggressive on the Paladin. You know, try to see if he can run away, catching him, casting spell, Shadow Step interrupt, Vendetta up. That's gonna be a bubble available for Yasha. Hodge, Baczynski trinkets out of it. Try to see if he can get a Phantom Nice slow into Yasha, but that bubble's gonna prevent it. Shadow stepping around the corner, trying to maintain line of sight from the Pala. Hodge not available for a second, but neither is Kidney Shot. That's gonna be full redots available for Baczynski. But Yash is just shredding right through the guy. Might even be evasion available. And it's up to trick aside evasion up. Baczynski should be using it. Goes for a Shadow Meld with a blind. Oh, that was tough. That was tough. That was actually clutch. That Shadow Meld actually saved him there for a second, I think. Well, the blind did work, but Shadow Meld, I think Shadow Meld for a second just in case. Trying to dodge whatever damage. Because the single Tempest Word, I think, would have ended him just now. Yasha trying to go for a bit of a flash of light, but she's letting him get a few flash of lights in. Stopping the last one, and looks like he's going to try to see if he can get offensive by coming out into Yasha. Has a bop available if he needs to. Is going to hit with a bop. Twisted Appendage still shredding through the guy. Should take it out. Twisted Appendage. Safeguard, Shrink, and Proc. That's an extra defensive cloak coming out from Baczynski in case there was going to be a Hodge by Yasha. Does take down the Appendage. That's going to be some flash of lights. Perfect opportunity for Baczynski to maybe poke around the corner, Shadow Step, and interrupt, but he's not going to go for it. He's going to go for a full reset as Rogue would. He's going to hit him with a Rupture on the side. Garrode before the sap falls off. Kidney into dressed onto Yasha. Trying to do as much damage as humanly possible. Mark for Death in Venom yet again. Getting hit with a Hodge. No chicken available. Yasha trying to go for some damage himself. But Baczynski, is he going to take a lot of damage here? Took a pretty big swing from Templars. That could still be a lot of damage going through this evasion. Yasha's super low in health. Has a Shield of Vengeance if he really needs to. Dropping down a Hearthstone board. He doesn't want to play WoW anymore. He wants to play Hearthstone with this man. He's like, I don't like this game anymore. Can you not play evasion? Can I just play Face Hunter into you or something? But just gets super low in health. If Yasha can stop a break out of the Hodge, we'll be able to take him out. But it looks like the Rogue is going to get away scot-free. Yasha, they're getting quite a lot of heals, dude. Quite a lot of heals. No bop, no bubble available, though. Shield of Vengeance is down for a moment. No trinket. Actually, might have a human racial available at this point. We'll have to wait and see. He might have a human racial available by this point into the duel. But we'll have to wait and see. Baczynski is going to get a normal Garrode opener. Just try to get the basic dots. Kidney Shot. Does Yasha do anything? Reaping Flames to follow. Does human racial out of it. Hodge, Baczynski does get a trinket rolling. That's going to be Executor sentence into a vanish. But Yasha doesn't have any dots to follow off from that execution sentence. Doesn't run Gushing Wound or anything like that. Yes, it's going to be a lot of just resets for this Rogue man until he finally gets what he needs. It's a big unforged, dude. That is so unforged. Trying to see if he can sprint to the pally. He's going to hit him with a sap. Not going to have a trinket available for a while. Not for a while. Garrode, Kidney Shot. Does Baczynski have any damage here? Does he have a full Vendetta? It's going to hit Yasha with a dress. He's trying to stay aggressive where he can. But once he's out of cooldowns, he's kind of out. Shadow Step interrupt would have been perfect there. Does have a Cloak of Shadows back up too. Could poke out and try to see if he can make a play. Isn't really confident on the Shadow Step though. Doesn't want to do it. Actually looking to catch himself a reset if possible. Does go for a Shadow Meld for a second. Garrode into Yasha. Won't let him get a Hodge off. That's going to be Hodge by the Paladin. Does he go down here through the Paladin damage? Does he survive it? Cloak of Shadows comes in as Yasha goes in for Judgment or maybe Hammer Righteous at the end. It's going to be a big old bike into Yasha's face. Safeguard Chicken does proc out. With a blind to follow, Yasha has a bubble coming back very, very soon. Shield of Vengeance is back up as well. Baczynski holding on to no trinket. Evasion available. He could be in a really, really bad spot. Does Yasha have a Hodge here? Does Baczynski have a Shadow Meld? If he has a Shadow Meld, he might be able to force a bubble and Shadow Meld reset out of it. He's going to get full down to Yasha with the Garrod. Can the shot to follow? Does Yasha do anything? Bubbles at the last second. Wings are popping up. Baczynski trying to see if he can sprint the hell out of there. Does Yasha have anything to follow up? He had a bubble. No Hodge available for that one. Trying to see if he can catch up to Baczynski. Baczynski just outrunning the man. Yeah, and I think it's going to be down for the count here, man. I don't know if Yasha can do anything else. I mean, if he could get a Hodge into Baczynski, he still might be able to make a play. Shield of Vengeance is up. He's going to be able to break out of Shield of Vengeance, trying to catch up back to the Rogue. Not going to happen with the Crippling Poison. And Baczynski only 5 seconds until he has his Trinket back up. Now would be the perfect time to grab a pillow, boys. Time to get snoozing. You're not going to be able to see the end of this duel in a while. Get a shot coming in by Baczynski as he's going in for a bit of damage. I would really love to just see a Rogue just stay in there, you know what I mean? Just stay in and keep tussling damage, and I know it's a really bad idea. Especially against the Paladin who loves the fact that, you know, somebody stays next to him. Just tussling, muscling. I would love to see a Assassination Rogue go through the open and just stay in, let the poisons keep doing work. But the full dot play style, just going for a hit and run, is like the more safe play style. It's effective if you're trying to survive. There's going to be a Hodge. Baczynski has a Trinket, sees wings from the Pala. Is going to trick it at the last second. Yasha doesn't have anything to stop this. That's going to be a perfect opportunity for Baczynski to maybe stay in. He's going for a hit and run with the sprints. It's running by Yasha, if anything. It's going to be Yasha maybe get enough damage here. Not a lot of getting. That's going to be flash of light at the very last second. Couldn't really do anything for it. And Ramstein? Is that what he's trying to go for? Ram is going to be up next with Baczynski going for a Cloak of Shadows as the army of the dead surrounding him. Hit and run ZZZ. You have to play how you got to play, man. Don't blame the player. You know, don't hate the player. Hate the class. Take it up with the developers. Maybe they could do something for rogues to make it more sustainable. Like if Leech and Poison was a big self-heal, man. You know what I mean? Like enough to actually stay in on PvP. I'd be cool. I won't mind that at all. But then it's a rogue, you know, it shouldn't be able to heal too much, right? Only 10% leech, man. Seems good enough. Ram is trying to get the pets to attack Baczynski. The Risen Skulker is trying to just get a bow shot rolling, but he has taken so long to cast it. He can never really get the full value out of it. Big bike into Ram as Baczynski does another hit and run. Loads him up full of dust, throws the bike in his face and runs the hell out of there. He's going to hit with a stun. That's going to be Apocalypse coming in for Ram. Trying to see if he might be able to get himself a bit of health back as well. Going to be a Shadow Meld for a second for Baczynski. Evasion up as well. Ram barely any health available. Baczynski might be able to take him out. That's going to be Baczynski going down at the very last second. Just did it one more global. And oh my god, Luby is just going to come in, throw a couple of hammers into the DK, just take him out of the game immediately. And Grisa is going to be up next. Or Angie, actually. Angie or Risa. Angie. I'll call him Angrisa. It's close enough, right? Luby popping in wings. I think it was a minute-long wings, actually. Or maybe full wings. Versus Angrisa, who's going to get the slappers to proc to the shield of edge. Looking like he's on the retreat right now. He's going to dodge a hammer or two from Luby. He's getting back in there for those slappers. This is going to break the shield of vengeance, dude. That shield is going to pop back on you. Going up in the air and trying to get the shield to pop from above. With a bit of lag for Angrisa. Still trying to get whatever damage he can. Luby poking out just to get the judgments in there with an Executor Sentence on top of it. Might be able to get enough damage into Angrisa. With a hammer or wrath or two. Maybe stun onto Luby. You get hit with a dress. It's going to be stun onto Angrisa. Doesn't trinket out of it. It's going to be wings for Luby. Might be able to take him out right then and there. If Angrisa has a trinket, he should probably be using it early as possible. Darkness coming down. Probably doesn't trinket anything. That's going to be Luby taking him out with a Templar's Verdict at the end. Anathema, last one left, the 10-minute mark. Maybe finally Atheman will actually be able to take a little bit of damage. Maybe finally he'll take a hit or two. You know, this low dampening. Paladins exchanging judgments, and it looks like Atheman will just have to fight through 5 people, man. 1 versus 2 paladins, 2 monks, large fries, and a diet soda, dude. It's a full-on order here. Ooh, I like his change with the sword. I think it fits a little bit better for the Mog. I like the color scheme. It's going to be a Hodge into Luby, Hodge into Athe. He's going to have adaptation proc, and he's going to hit with a hand of hitting and stuff. As Luby is looking just to kite Paladin away as best possible. I got an Atheman as best as he can. 10 minutes mark, 35% dampening. Shark smiling. So happy watching these duels. Look at that smile, dude. Look at this happy little shark. And Luby Gonna have to hit into that Shield of Vengeance. Popping a Shield of Vengeance of his own. Looks like both shields are gonna pop. Atherman does have extra versatility to maybe survive this. This is gonna go for a massive heal at 36% dampening. It's gonna be a bubble for Luby. This is trying to make some damage happen to Ather. Does interrupt him on a heal though. And Atherman just needs to survive this long enough. He's gonna try to get a flash of lights into the face of Luby. He had full immunity, as much damage as he could. Ather just healing right in the dude's face. Now Ather got his own wings up and running. It's gonna be a Hodge to Ather. No way out of this one unless he wants to bubble it. That was a minute long wings only, so Ather didn't really lose out on the most amount of damage. Looks like Luby's just playing more for the disruptive playstyle. Just like sees Atherman popping wings, he's like, yep, don't want you to get a full value on wings. Not happening. Nope. I'm just going to disrupt as much damage as I can from there. Flashlight for Ather as he's trying to survive Luby. As we're about to hit that 12-minute mark, boys. What's up, Dal? What's up, guy? Hey, my man. Hope you're having a good one, my dude. Make it a group, horde group. 5v1 by Dal Q. Alright, man. Sounds good. It's gonna be Execute Sentence onto Ather by Luby. Actually, Prince, we might be this might be the last game, so I won't worry too much about it, my man. Appreciate you though. This might be the last game because it is that time. We're to get some dinner. Gonna be a Hodge into Luby. Does Atherman have anything here? He's gonna get a minute-long waste coming up, dude. Minute-long lemonade coming in. Luby popping in Bob. Actually, a lot of the Temple's verdicts and judgment are still going through the blessing of protection. Atherman might still be able to do something here. Popping a bubble onto Luby. Might be able to get a hammer of righteous in there. Steel could break through the exterior and does take him out at the end. It took so long just to get that setup going for Ather, and Luby popped a Bob for the last second. Ather still just has so much holy damage, just goes right through it. Wait, his name is actually not Nayat? I thought it was Nayat. That N is actually an H. H-Ya-U-T. Howit? Howit? Something like that. Close enough. It's gonna be Karma into Ather. He's just trying to flash the light as much as he can. Barely getting any kind of health at 50% dampener though. And a big old kick with slappers takes him down from the fight. There we go, boys. There it is. I messed up that dude's name completely. I thought it was Nawit or something, but Howit. Howit. Something like that. Close enough, dude. I'm so bad at Russian names at this point. Plus, his Russian names in an MMO. Like fantasy names and shit. Oh, not happening, dude. Not happening. Alrighty, boys. Dala is Dala Thick Boy. What's up, Dala Thick Boy? How you doing, fam? You're having a good one. Nice smog. I like that scythe. 260? Ooh, we got the 260, boys. Espala's Lubid killed Krager in a duel. Oh, did he? Oh. Was he the feral? Or in a duel another time, which I mean, like another time they duel each other. What do I mean? Double play like that? Hit and run is easy. What can you do, right? Hey bro, can you invite Krager party on a battle? Hey Alexi, I'm actually done for the duels, my man. Appreciate you them coming by. We'll do more next week, but thank you guys so much for coming by. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I got some food to eat. Dinner time. Kind of hungry, man. I think tonight is... Normally Friday is pizza, but I'm actually not feeling like pizza. We'll see what's available. Let's see what's... Maybe somebody ordered something already. But normally Friday is a pizza night, but I'm actually not feeling like pizza. I'm actually feeling like a sub sandwich, like something healthy for the day. You know what I mean? A drink of water. I'm actually feeling good, feeling kind of healthy. Pizza. I'm actually in the mood for some more healthy option, but we'll see what's there. If somebody will do order pizza like my tuna or something, and that's okay. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow is going to be some NA duels, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. You guys have a good one. Good night, beautiful bastards. And peace.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their